That's it. Podcast back once again, episode 220. I'm your host, Anthony Trapani, and as always, got a resident homie with me now. We'll see Joel Horner later, but I got Casey Howard with me tonight. What up, dude?
Hey, everybody.
And tonight
Still
we're
got
joined.
memories of that
What's up?
that tour in Europe.
Oh yeah, totally, dude.
Which tour?
I was thinking about that earlier. Oh, just the greatest tour, the greatest European tour I've ever done. The only one, but it was great.
It was debaucherous, not to say none the least.
We just took down Europe together, dude. It was awesome. When Joel gets on later, we'll have to reminisce with that too.
Yes,
part of that debauchery,
dude, no doubt. And we could talk about some a Pacifica gig that we played. I don't know if we talked about it on the last one, but I remember.
Yeah.
Pacifica, dude. But tonight we're joined by the guys in Unmerciful. We got Clint, Trent, and Jeremy with us tonight. How are you guys doing? I know Clint's doing well. He's sitting out on the beach right near the beach.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm living it up.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what's up.
Living the life right now.
Cali style.
I popped in on a show from Hawaii once. I felt pretty badass for doing that.
Nice.
Like first half hour on my phone. But yeah, dude, it's cool as shit to be in a tropical, nice fucking place. Just nothing else to worry about, dude.
Were you again?
Weather.
Cabo?
Yeah, I'm in the
cool.
Right now. You're right around what's it, San Lucas? I can't remember. I'm new here, but right on the beach. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's cool for everyone else that's actually there, but when you're sending us pictures that are not in Cabo, like
totally.
You trying to tell me I'm number one, Trent, or number two?
That's right.
Soon enough, man. We got some shit cooking.
Yeah, dude. All right. Well, before we get rolling, dude, let's do some plugs off the top. Wait, I'm not ready to do it. What am I? Banners. Is that where it is? Yep. Always up top. Battleforgecoffee.com. I mean, we were all label mates with the guys in that started that company. It's a company owned by D's of Flesh, and it's a quality company. I definitely would love for you guys to go check it out at battleforgecoffee.com. I always say it's good coffee, and they got some cool swag. I always, compliment their t-shirt choices because they're super comfortable t-shirts. So I need to. What's up?
Yeah. Oh, at some point, just send me a link or something.
Yeah, dude. I'll put you in contact. You know all the guys. You know Ivan and Mike and Jacoby. That's them. So yeah, dude.
Sweet.
I actually talked to Jacoby. I've got one of those shirts, and he sent me a bag of that coffee. It was really nice. So
yeah, dude.
I every day at work, man.
It's
one cup every day. Doesn't matter.
I like to grind it fresh too, dude, so you can get your whole beans, and they do pre-ground. But yeah, dude, I like the whole beans. I like to grind them fresh. It's just the shit. So yeah, battleforgecoffee.com. Hit it up. And then the second one we always do is generatorrehearsalstudios.com down in Oceanside, California. It's a quality spot to go jam out. And
Oceanside is cool.
Yeah, dude. Go get pissed off at your work day by playing your drums or guitar. Do it over there. Get as loud as you fucking want. GeneratorRehearsalStudios.com. All right. And what about Unmerciful? Where you guys want people to, if they get in touch with you or buy merch, wherever?
What do you want?
That would be unmercifulmusic.com.
Yes. Okay.
It'll be directly to us.
That's a central hub that'll show
Yeah,
all your socials.
and with that,
merch.
you know, we make our own merch. I have a merch
Nice.
company for, you know, and promotional product company, so we do all that in house.
Nice.
But it's pretty cool. You know, we try to come up with some new things, some fresh things. For instance, this we piloted some custom made tennis shoes. Bands can now have their shoes made from scratch, made to order, like manufactured with their artwork.
Wow.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I actually saw there's some like overseas company that was selling some servile insurrection Converse for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're still there.
It's probably through the same company. They're headquartered out of Kansas City, actually, but
Okay.
their manufacturing is done in China. And what they do, they put, you know, get everything together, get your designs in order. You know, you put your order in, and then they send the ticket off to China. And
Where's the?
yeah, same company.
Oh,
that was us.
Check them out, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to our scroll down.
Scroll right down. You'll see them.
Keep scrolling. There's some products.
Nice.
It's going to be just below the LP.
Oh,
there you go.
Probably.
These things?
Those things.
Hell yeah. Loading. Nice, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, we have Trent and I have a pair. They're pretty dope.
It's like a skate shoe type.
Yeah, it's kind of crossover skate shoe, like athletic shoe.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like, you know, this company had several different types of shoes that you can get and stuff, but that was the most metal appropriate one they offered.
Dude, that rules.
Those are pretty fucking sick, dude.
Yeah,
you know, it could look kind of cheesy with the artwork and all that shit, but that style shoe actually it's nice on the side like that, you know.
Yeah, it's legit.
I mean, I'm never gonna wear mine, but they're just
I
gonna sit on.
I wore them to my local bar once. Everybody's like,
nice.
Well received. Like me and my Adidas, like fucking Run DMC.
Dude, shout out to Reef, Guttural Reef in the podcast. That was an idea a while ago, but I wouldn't want to put it on some cheap shit, dude. You know, I'm a sandal connoisseur, dude. So flip flops are my thing. So it's like
we got those too.
But if we wanted to do a quality, if we wanted to do a Cali Death podcast version, I'd want it to be like an actual quality fucking company, not the type where it goes through the bottom and then it's got the rivets that like you could.
The old school 70s.
Yeah. So we will eventually, if we ever
$100 sandals, like
maybe we'll take after some metal musicians and start a Patreon. Or not a Patreon, a Kickstarter.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, but yeah.
Dude. All right, so that's it. So unmercifulmusic.com. That's the central hub. Nice. Cool, dudes. Well, now we're through the fucking plugs. Tell us how it's been since the drop of the new record.
I'll let Jeremy lead with that.
Well, I mean, the response has been pretty fucking good, really. I haven't really seen too many gripes about it other than Too Brutal, which
Too Unmerciful.
Anyways. Yeah, I mean, it's in the band name. Whatever.
Exactly.
Too many blast beats.
Yeah, it's supposed to be relentless. I don't know. Everything's been pretty well received from what I've seen so far.
It's a constant kick in the ears, dude. Like my ears are feeling stomped from listening
Good. That's
to
what
it.
we were going for.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, that's always been my response to you guys ever since.
Nothing less, It's like,
I don't know if I don't
First.
know if Clint was there, but I remember at the Pound I know that Paul had handed me the Unmerciful demo, and ever since then I've always been like, this is the band that is literally the ear beating. I would take it's like most bands kind of let up at times to give you a little break, but it's like this is just the constant ear beating that it's a, what is it, masochistic or sadistic? Who's the one that likes to take it?
Yeah, masochistic rampage.
Yeah, that's how I feel. It's like I'm just constantly getting.
That's the whole kind of emotional connection thing we try to make. Just we've all grown up doing the technical thing, whatever. But at the end of the day, we just want to make something the meanest, nastiest thing we can. Just look at it that way instead of any other way.
Yeah, which is music to fuck people up to. I mean, our music makes you want to
we're
hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker. I mean,
living in Topeka, Kansas, or coming from our Kansas City area, there's a lot of I mean, Jeremy, we come together, everything. There's a lot of hate, man. It's just people. It's just come up in a place with a lot of crime and shit like that, and it's just kind of bulge you. So that's kind of probably.
Well, I mean, it is like you said, it's a violent place. The zip code's 666. I mean,
stars are aligned, man.
Well, I mean, we were talking about it, how that's how us death metal guys get it out,
Yeah.
That it's all that built up shit from an environment like that. Living in an environment like that, you're gonna carry around some tension, right? So how do you get rid of it? You could get rid of it many ways, but I think that death metal musicians have a positive outlet to blow off that steam that's been building up, and it's not even just about environment too, but just life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm kind of surprised by some of the reviews that have been coming back that it's saying it's too unmerciful, because in my opinion it's one of the more diverse Unmerciful albums. I mean, I know it's kind of like perspective because it's still Unmerciful, but there's a lot of stuff that happened on this album that I listened to it, and like, even from a drumming perspective, I listened to it, I'm like, man, they actually let me do that. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I must agree with you, Shrek. There's definitely a song to song thing. You're like, okay, that's different. That's cool.
For sure. And I did notice that as well. It's, I mean, go ahead.
While we're on the topic, I wanted to say, so I think it is so sick. Like, okay, so there's like the wall of sound of like just when it's going crazy and it's all badass, and this is kind of what we're talking about, like the brutal, just relentless kind of shit, which you guys are known for. I expect that from Unmerciful, and it's like Hate Eternal, like kind of stuff. Of course, Origin, all that, like all that shit that for all the years is the style, dude. And our bands are like that too. Like Odious and Severed have that shit going on too. And like the thing that's really cool about this album is like I listen, and then there's like things that happen that like are like, oh fuck, dude, hell yeah. And like when it breaks out of that for a minute, the breakdowns, I mean, calling them breakdown, whatever, the heavy parts of the album are like, and I want to talk about breakdowns tonight. I have a whole scheme of things I want to bring up, but like the heavy parts, let's call it that. The heavy parts in the album are really good. And it's like, and it's just like, dude, it's so good. Like there's some, I'm like, whoa, fuck yeah. Like, and really cool, tasteful shit. The drumming is phenomenal. Like, and the guitar playing is phenomenal and so sick. The writing and the riff, and you guys do these chords, you hold things out to. It's a lot of shit. It's very dynamic. Like, it's not just, so there's like the overall brutality of it, but it goes into different avenues and different directions that are very, I want to listen to it again. Like I've listened to it I listened to a bunch of songs, but like I listened to the whole album today, like all the way through, and like was like driving to work and kind of studying up on it. And like, dude, I was just like, I want to hear that shit again. Like, and that's a good for me, a good thing, you know.
Yeah,
and, yeah.
Thank you, man. That's really, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I think that's really the thing. You know, I would, you know,
Yeah.
Do you want to hear it again? You know, that's
Yeah.
Thank you. I kind of felt that way too. You know, speaking of my perspective, I knew we had something pretty good. But you know, as with, you know, I'd say many bands that write, it would be a lot to everybody.
You're just full
Okay,
screen
just
right now.
lost the picture.
Yeah.
I would say you just don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
what you just don't know. You got the songs, you're ready to go with them, and then when you get in the production part, you just don't know. You never know 100% like what's the end product going to be. And
Right.
I think we navigated our way to get. You know, we navigated our way. There's definitely been, you know, we've improved our production process, our production equipment, and all that stuff like that. And we were, I think we pushed the right buttons on the process of getting the album done and having it come out the way it did.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes it's always just a little bit of the roll of the dice. Maybe not all the way of a roll of the dice.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, you can never say it's going to sound exactly like this when you go into it.
Mm-hmm.
And
was it you guys that recorded yourselves?
we actually recorded at the practice spot.
I was gonna say, was it at the practice spot? Wow, that's cool, dude. I mean, and then who mixed and mastered? You guys as well?
Clint did all the recording, mixing, everything was at his house.
Killer, dude.
And then we had Alan Douches master it.
Wow,
That was another great button we pushed and used. Pretty incredible. I've always personally known who he was for the years, but I always think he's not going to be affordable. You know, that's the way I looked at him. You know, the guy used to do like, you know, big pop albums in the '90s. You know, so
totally.
And then, you know, and then it came our way. We saw the price of what he charged. I was like, I had to like look twice. I was like, no, that can't be real. Oh yeah, we're using him.
Yeah, because I mean, we've always used Colin Davis, and he's great, but we just wanted to try Alan to see what the end product would be, and we're extremely happy with it. So,
yeah, dude. No, I'm actually pleasantly surprised that it was all, you know, a DIY thing. I mean, it sounds like it was recorded by, you know, somebody who fucking does it for a living. You know.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've done it a long time, so you know, it was it was fun. It was fun. I improving my recording setup was what really, you know, kind of really helped in getting it to where it ended up. Kind of just made my job easier, made everybody's job easier. And then we have we got some great people behind us. We have a couple friends of ours. One is like pretty much my neighbor, like lives right down the street. Shout out to Mr. Dan Corwin, and then Mr. Michael Klein, who's actually his cousin or brother-in-law or something like that, and who Dan would take care of our guitars, and Michael Klein like modified our amplifiers. He's a expert on Mesa boogies, and he's, you know, dug us for a long time, and like we gave him our amps. He modded them. He does makes custom pedals.
Yeah, he makes
really knows his stuff. He really stepped the level of our guitar sound up, and I think the guitar. I think a lot of the album, you know, I feel it's pretty balanced. There's definitely a lot more guitar, more wall of sound, and that element was more accentuated on this recording than I think in any of our other recordings.
Well, the drums are still very present still, though.
And
too.
yeah,
that
was the other challenge too. If the guitars are going to be prominent, how do we make those drums have to come through too? And I think we were able to do that.
All I hear is not enough drums. That's what I hear from that.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry,
kidding.
Trey.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I mean it comes out too, like especially like on like those chunky heavy riffs. Like I remember thinking that I was just like, dude, these guitars sound rad, you know, like because it sounds good the whole time, but like when it like in the I don't know, I can like it's like a really sick sound. It sounds really like tight and heavy, you know.
Yeah,
Guys, how did you guys? I mean, if you want to talk about it all about like how did you get that sound? Did you like mic the cabs, or did you do like reamping, or did you do like?
No, we thought about we mic'd the cabinets, but we DI'd them also just in case we had to reamp, you know. But we didn't have to. But we put 3 mics in the cabinet. Did of course did do the Friedman setup on one speaker, and then we set a Sennheiser 906, which is looks like a 609, but it's halfway between a 421 and a 6029. The difference is it's like a 609, but it has a slight what do you call it? A proximity effect, like similar like a RE20, a broadcast mic that gives that.
Oh, okay.
A 421 Sennheiser does that too. So there's a little like accentuation in it gives you like a little hint of a wolf. Kind of brings a little more of that heavy sponge than that frequency range, I think. And then of course you can't go wrong with the 57s and a Friedman. And I just blended them.
Gotcha.
I struggled with them for a while to get them sound, and I just re-blended them, like pretty much almost no EQ, and it was like, there it is.
All right, dude, cool.
So yeah, a lot of mics on the guitar cabinet. To me, that's good, because if one doesn't work, you just get rid of it.
Right. Well, I had no idea what you just said, but I liked listening to it. I just heard a lot of numbers. I think I
was mainly talking to Casey there. He knows the gig. But yes, the DI. I don't. It's no secret to it. We using the DI in the guitar, blending into the guitar sound makes a big difference.
Yeah, no, I was half joking when I said that. Like when you talk about when anybody talks about gear models and specifics on that,
man, I'm a gear junkie.
I kind of do that, you know. Fucking my eyes go a little cross-eyed and fucking just sit there and listen to the numbers, and I'm just like, dude, it sounds chunky as fuck, dude. That's all I gotta say, dude.
Let me tell you, whenever he says he's a gear nerd, there was a time that we came over and he was like, oh man, check out these headphones, and I put them on, and he's like, man, these are like, I don't know how much they are. I always like jack up the price on them, but he's like, man, these are like $5,000 headphones. Can you hear that, like that whatever frequency? And I was like, man, I've been in the Army, I've been at war, I play drums, I can't hear shit. So that sounds great, man.
It does. That's crazy, dude. So thank you for your service, dude. How talk about that a little bit. I know that's taking a left turn, but you know how we do. We got to get into the weeds a little bit. You brought that up. I want to know about it.
Yeah. So I was in the Army, and I deployed into Iraq 2007, 2008. My MOS, or my job or whatever, was psychological operations, which sounds way cooler than what it actually was. Like you go into like recruiting station, and like, oh, you can be a psychological operations specialist, and that sounds super sexy, right? But when you get deployed, you're basically infantry. So but a good example of like what PSYOP should be is, if you've ever watched the movie Black Hawk Down, they're rolling through Mogadishu or whatever village that was, and there's that truck, and most people don't pay attention to it, but there's a truck with a speaker on it, and that was a PSYOP truck. And we had one mission where we needed like air support where we wanted to have like helicopter presence. And we didn't have a little bird available, and so over our loudspeaker we just played the sound of a little bird just going like back and forth. So like it gave the perception that we had a little bird, but we actually didn't.
That's wild, dude.
Crazy, man. Man, you never shared that, Trent. That's awesome.
That is. I got into I listened to this one thing about. And it's I don't know if it's true or not, but they were saying that there's some lasers that could be used to actually send voice messages. And it sounds crazy as shit, but you know, I'm telling you through a stoner's brain that listened to this once, you know, so I'm gonna miss everything, but like the Foo Fighters, all that type of shit, the flying ball type shit, that's supposedly the same technology. But it was just wild to think that, and you mentioning that would be coming, if that was a real thing, that would be coming from you. You'd be sending the lasers as a psyop, like to you know, stop. You can't go past a certain point, or somebody comes into an area, then you'd have to send this laser out. And I don't even know why I brought it up, because I don't know anything about if it's true or any other details other than I heard some guy say, yeah, you could send audio with a laser. And I was just like, that'd be crazy, dude. Just have a ball of light show up and tell you to stop jerking off or something.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the first application of that technology if it does not exist already.
So, but that's the thing. So you're basically you're psychological. It's the psychological aspect of warfare. You're fucking with the other guy's head.
Yeah. Trying to think of what else. You know, like we would do like other stupid stuff, like play metal over the loudspeaker whenever we were kicking doors in or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'd play messages during like political campaigns, you know, telling people to get out and vote and all that good stuff. And we weren't so heavily involved in like human intelligence collections. We had like HUMIT collectors. But if we had an opportunity to get like any sort of propaganda, like I paid this kid like $10 US for this propaganda disc, just so we could take it back and analyze it, and you know, give the kid, you know, $10, $10 US, which to them is a lot of money.
Yeah,
but it also gives us a lot of valuable intelligence on what their recruiting campaigns consist of. So yeah, being overseas was interesting.
Did you see anything fucking crazy?
Yeah.
If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. I'm just asking.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something that would be kosher. Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. I've seen like the, you know, the normal war stuff. I guess I'll just leave it at that. It's all kind of crazy when you're overseas in a different country, different culture and all of that. It's all kind of crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Just being at war sucks.
Yeah, I bet, dude. Was that you? How many times have you been over?
Just that one time in 2007, 2008. And then I got discharged, I want to say in 2010, because I developed or I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease.
Mm-mm.
So that sucks too.
Yeah. You ever in the middle of a blast beat and you feel like you're gonna shit your pants?
So that's what's crazy. So whenever like I'm on the road or when I'm on tour, like my GI is usually like the calmest that it ever
Really?
is.
Wow.
I think that's a sign.
Yeah. Well, one of our old vocalists, Chris, he had Crohn's too, so we were kind of like brothers in diarrhea, I guess. But he had like the opposite. He'd go out on the road, at least, you know, like the few times I went out with him, he'd have like the opposite effect. But for me, it was just my GI was super quiet when we'd be on the road, and I never had any issues.
So,
but
what do you think that? What do you think that's from? Do you feel like a calming effect from being on the road? Like, is that like a place that you're always striving to be? So when you're there, it feels like right, and so it kind of calms your shit down, or is it literally like the stress of the situation where you're stressed on the road and it kind of, you know, stops you up?
Yeah. It's hard to say for sure, but if I had to guess or say, it would be like when you're on the road, it's kind of like constant survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always trying to, you know, like I don't really like each night we have like one shot because there's a, you know, shotgun sodomy. We all have like one shot, but that's all I drink when I'm on the road. But I'm constantly hydrating. I'm trying to make sure I'm eating as best I can because it's, you know, you're grinding for so long.
Right.
So I think it's ironically is because I'm trying to take better care of myself while I'm out on the road. So I'm constantly trying to hydrate and eat fruits and vegetables as much as I can. So if I had to guess, it would be that. I just kind of maybe eat like shit when I'm at home.
you're the closest to the most reliable bathroom or most comfortable bathroom. So you're like, fuck it, I'll just let loose at home. But yeah, I get it, dude. And actually, in the long run, tours, eating like that on tour, because I've only been on a couple of tours, you know, but comparing the first one to the second one, it was definitely the food situation is what I changed on the second one, because we'd be eating just garbage the first tour, you know, Taco Bell all the fucking time, you know, but so that's good, dude. It's a cool thing to be in 2025 and hear death metal musicians saying, I want to be healthy on the road.
We're old. We ain't like that anymore.
Yeah. I actually, dude, I just recently, you know, decided beers aren't my thing anymore, dude. I'm 40 and my body does not react to beer the way, or it now reacts to beer compared to not reacting to it, you know? If I drink beer, I'm going to be, I mean, yeah, I'm drinking these White Claw things, these are whatever, but actual beers, dude, I can't do it. I can't do 2 or 3. I'm going to be, my stomach's going to be fucked up the next day.
Yeah.
So, well, and I also drank the fucking hazy double IPAs. Those are the only.
Yeah, it's like steak in a can.
It is.
The IPA, that's like flowers, man.
I know.
Like you're drinking like flowers.
Flowers and fucking. It's basically no. It's like oatmeal in a can. That's what it is. It's just like eating a ton of oatmeal all day, and then the next day you're fucking shitting your brains out because you had too much fiber. All right, so we're 33 minutes in, and we've already talked about psychological warfare and shitting our brains out. Let's get back onto the band.
I was gonna say real quick too, I've always had like IBS my whole life, kind of, and so like irritable, you know.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I kind of had that same experience. It was weird, like on tour and stuff, or I don't know. Yeah, it was like stomach usually was pretty fine, you know, except if, you know, if you go to McDonald's 3 times in one day, that didn't help. But
did you were you vegan the whole time you were touring, Casey?
No. Just, we were younger. We were like, but not when we were touring. We weren't.
I honestly think the vegan places we went to were the best, most healthiest options we were hitting on that first tour, and actually probably the best food compared to all the fucking fast food bullshit we were eating. I also ate granola for like 2 days straight because we ran out of money, but
yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So what do you think, Anthony? Should we like? So we've you know,
It's a
we've
part
had.
two, so I mean,
Yeah,
it's
part two. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. So I think it was episode 66 or something was the first one.
damn, it was
I
that
remember
long
that in my
ago?
brain.
That long ago.
I think that's right. Yeah. So you guys were like, we probably were like just over a year into the pod or something. Just like so, kind of not our first year, but almost.
That's
and,
wild, dude.
You know, we've known you guys for a long time. We're brothers in the scene and just like all that stuff and
Label mates
so,
and
yeah. Like, I mean, back to when we played at the Aptos Club and God, was it like 2004 or something? And Clint, you were in Origin, right?
Yeah.
Like, you were playing there, and we met you guys that night. So that's like over 20 years ago.
Was it 2004? Was that? Okay,
or was
so
it
you played Aptos. I played
That's the
Aptos
night
with
we
you
met
guys
Joel.
in 05. But did you play Odious and Origin played?
Yeah, no, it was Decrepit in Origin, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or I think or did Odious play? I don't even remember because we played there a few times, but I think that was the night like we met Joel and shit. I think, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
then obviously I wasn't in the band yet. If you
Yeah.
had just met Joel, because he was in before me. Which, speaking of the Gorilla,
Oh, hey,
How's it
we're
going?
talking about you, dude. Yeah.
What up, guys? How's it going?
we were literally just talking about you.
So
Wore my Kansas City hat for Jeremy. And
oh, nice. I should go grab mine. I'm gonna go grab mine. But Joel, we were talking about the Aptos Club. Was that the night we met you and shit that Origin played, or what was the whole story behind that? I
Did
get them all
Odious
confused.
open that?
I don't remember, dude.
No,
Probably, okay.
Odious opened up.
This is a
we
long
played,
time.
we played the
Odious
pound.
before.
It was before. It was like
both you
Dan.
guys.
Dan was the singer.
Just me,
It was-
David, and Dan.
It was a 3-piece. And
Yeah.
I think, but yeah, it was outside of the club, right? I think it was Origin was playing, but yeah, that was now it's a nice breakfast diner if you would like to get a nice
yeah,
set of
Oh,
waffles. or-
really?
yeah, it's like
Did it-
place changes all the time, but
Did it,
yeah, so it's a
close
weird
down?
place to play a show.
Did it close down pre-pandemic, or was it the pandemic that closed it down as a club?
It's been 3 different things after
Yeah.
or before the pandemic. So yeah, Aptos Club kind of went downhill a while ago. But yeah, crazy. How'd you guys get to that topic?
Well, we were just talking about Casey was just starting to reminisce about, some of the first times we hung as homies with Jeremy and Clint and
Yeah, it's kind of the Unmerciful and Decrepit Birth and the Odious.
yeah, dude. Well, it was that unique leader shit, dude.
Yeah.
That brought the brotherhood, international once you're signed to that label, and then at that time, flying that flag was just a thing of pride, So
Yes.
as soon as you were as soon as we were on, we were just like, every single one of these bands, if we ever meet them, they're immediately brothers. You get that.
It's like that Kansas Cali thing, man. We just kind of like we're kind of like that. It's weird.
And we got to
Was
thank
that
Paul
Paul?
for that too.
That was Paul that kind of made the link between the Bay Area and Kansas, right? But for Origin.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, he moved there in 2002.
That's right.
Started working at Guitar Center.
Mhm.
So yeah,
He's still there, right? I think he's still at Guitar Center.
he's still there.
Yeah.
Not as much as he used to be, but yeah, he's still there. He's not.
Dude.
He's not on the floor, I don't think, anymore.
Okay.
Me and Dan Kenny used to go there and just hang out with him on his break, and we would just request riffs from like Triple I or something,
That's
Yeah,
such a
man.
classic move, dude. As a guitar salesperson, just be like, "Yeah, dude, it's this guitar, dude." It's like sick, dude. It's a super sick guitar. You just like shred on a guitar in front of someone and be like, "Yeah, dude, it's the guitar,
Yeah.
dude. You got to get it."
I remember before I met Paul, and I was like, I just moved. I think it was 2004. I just had moved up there, and we went to the Guitar Center before it moved, and it was like whatever street it was on before it moved over on Van Ness. But it was like, I remember seeing it. And I was like, "Oh, that's the guy, dude."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and I was like nervous. I was like, "That's the guy, dude. That's the Origin guy." And then like we met him, and he was all cool, and I was like, "Oh, okay, he's cool." And then then I think I went there. Well, the Guitar Center moved like right at that time, and then I went there. Then he was like, "Dude," and he took me in this back room and showed me Echoes before it was out. And
Yeah,
just, like, it was like it blasted it like on their system, like in Guitar Center, like on some,
that's rad.
When he was up at the Guitar Center on Van Ness.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when I lived up there, I went there all the time, would hang out with Paul and talk to him and go there and just buy shit. And,
That's cool.
Yeah, dude.
Paul literally was like a big brother type at the pound regulars. We would always run into each other, and he was a little bit older than us, and yeah. So I definitely was Paul on the demo too. Did Paul play on the Unmerciful demo or no? No. Okay. Who drummed on the demo?
James King.
Yeah,
King?
that's who.
Okay.
So it was King and Paul that handed me that demo, dude. And yeah, Paul's great. He's a great connection between us. And yeah, dude, you guys coming to Pacifica that one time.
I remember that.
For a little bit, we had a hookup at the Octopus Lounge, which is now called Longboards, I think.
Yeah, I remember that. It was like misty out or something like that.
Yeah.
Foggy out
always,
that night.
always there. It's always foggy or misty there.
Pacifica.
Yeah, dude, it's Fog City. Some HAs used to own it during the Octopus Lounge days, and they were metalheads. And Paige, actually, shout out Paige. She was friends with them too, and helped, us start to. I mean, the shows were free, but we were selling merch, and we got a cut from the bar. That's how it worked. And yeah, dude, and so since we had that we brought Severed into Pacifica. We fucking brought you guys. You guys just so happened to be coming through looking for a spot, basically a baton pass of gas money, right?
Yep, the gas money shows. Yep.
Yeah. So you're hitting us in between two places, and it's cool to be able to like help some homies out on,
Yeah, man. It's like, so we tour the States, California is like, that's our place, man. It's like, if we weren't from Kansas, we'd be like, where would you fit? We would be a California thing, I think. I mean, just the vibe, homies like you guys, and just, the music. I mean, I wouldn't say we're like California coast, but I think we kind of draw into that sort of approach that, the decrepit, odious and decrepit kind of.
But think about it now. We can actually figure that all out right now because, I mean, Unique Leader was started by the pioneers of California death metal.
Yeah.
Deeds put their own fucking spice and Disgorge.
Yeah. We were
obviously, but
big
those
fans
two,
of Disgorge and Deeds.
And it's just like, so of course their marriage, Unique Leader signing Disgorge, and it's like this family thing. Well, then that sound reverberates throughout the world, and then these bands are inhibiting these styles that came from California. And I'm not saying that you guys don't have your own style. I'm just saying like we all are fucking stemmed from Deeds of Flesh and fucking Suffo, that's basically, you could boil both of our bands down to that, just the two coasts, and also some Cannibal mixed in there too, no doubt. But it's just like the coastal spots on any tour for our type of band is it's heaven sent. I mean, I'm not religious, obviously, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's such a relief to get out to the coasts on these tours because there's so much emptiness in between the two,
Yeah.
Obviously you hit Texas, some good spots in Texas, you'll find some bubbles of kids that'll come out to shows, but really we finally exhale when we get to the coasts and hit the fucking.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what that is.
You can think of it though, like it's like kind of interesting to think about. Like it's like okay, the East Coast. Well, it's like New York and those bands up there like are pretty different than the Florida bands. I mean, they're similar, but they're kind of different, and like California and whatever this and that. But like it's like the Kansas sound. Like actually, if you think about like I don't know, like
no, that's
you guys
true.
and Origin and like that style and shit, like because Texas is kind of different, right? It's kind of like we're talking about that with Brad and like Devourment and stuff, and like I don't know. It's like, but when I think of you guys, and we were talking about this at the beginning of the episode too, it's just like that relentless, just crazy speed and just badass, and then sick, heavy fucking parts. Like it's like
that is interesting. Yeah, that's kind of like because think
like
about
your
like
sound.
Texas is like brutal,
Yeah.
you know, like and then Kansas has like a brutal sound too. So like if you go up more north, is it more melodic? Is it because like I'm just thinking just because of like weather and treating it like Sweden. I'm just like
Yeah,
so Sweden's got
actually,
a lot of clouds and stuff. And is it more but no more black metal maybe up there? Like more like black metal is kind of more of a thing up
no,
north.
black metal's like where you gotta hit the. Yeah, there's probably like. What if there's some sick Alaskan black metal band out there that just never got their shit going,
They're
dude?
so underground. They're like, we're not releasing it. We're hiding our tape under this rock. You have to find it.
Yeah,
It's
we're
being
never
guarded.
gonna write an album or play a song or play a show.
Yeah.
It does have something to do with environment, really. I mean, I don't know what.
I think it's important to think about like regions and kind of think that's sick, dude. I mean, like think of going west from you guys to Colorado, and it's like Rocky Mountain hydro grind. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
To fall like
One click away.
I've always said it, man. I mean, this is an obvious point, but I just love like music as an art, whatever. It's like when bands are just different and have a sound like that's like Cryptopsy sounds way different than Morbid Angel or Deicide, and
Yeah.
like when bands are just different, or Gore Guts and like the Canadian band, it's like it's all sick. Like it's just rad when bands kind of have their own thing. It's different, you know.
Mhm.
So I think it's rad that I'm just thinking
I
about
agree.
the Kansas City sound, you know. It's like, or Kansas sound,
super fucking fast. That's what it is.
just brute. Yeah, just like holy fuck, dude. Like relentless, you know. It's like it's cool, man. And like I was saying earlier, Joel, too, like on this new album, it's like the heavy parts, and I don't even want to use the word breakdown, whatever, it doesn't even matter, but it's like,
well, it's breakdown Unmerciful style, so it's not really a breakdown, it's just a little bit slower
Like
for us.
musically it's a breakdown, but
yeah.
it's not like the trendy name of breakdown. Yeah, for sure.
Breakdown's a kind of a, you know,
Got overtaken.
it's
been demonized.
It's a controversial, yeah, it doesn't matter, but it's like but the heavy parts in the album are, I mean, always with Unmerciful, back to Unmercifully Beaten and all that, you know. I mean, I had that shirt forever, dude. I wore that on the Cryptic cover, like, or on the Cryptic picture. I have this, I used to rock that shit all the time.
I know. I'm super bummed, Jeremy, that you missed that European tour, because me and we were stuck in a bus with with Cryptopsy, and it was Decrepit, Cryptopsy, Unmerciful. Stuck
Oh my god!
It was
debauchery.
Yeah,
I got to terrorize Eric Langlois when I was with Virgin, and we toured with Cryptopsy. So
nice.
I'll never forget that shit. Eric, man, that dude was such an asshole.
Dude.
You guys drank all his fucking bourbon. It was so fucking funny.
Yeah,
I've told that story before about how
that
I
whole
got
thing with the booze. Yeah,
yeah, I got the lock cutters because Brovar started locking their booze.
Yeah. You like, they started locking the cooler because they were like accusing us of taking it. Like none of us were. And then these guys were like, well, fuck, they're gonna do like that. Fuck them.
That was hilarious.
And then they try to blame Justin for drinking the bourbon. And then Justin fucking.
Oh,
I thought he was going to punch Eric in the face.
There was a big. I remember that. It's funny because there's a picture of them going like together, but like literally 10 seconds before they were like almost about to throw blows. Like it was like, and then finally like Justin's like, oh, it's all good, man. I'm gonna fuck. It's fucked up. And then you guys, they took a picture, and it's on. I have the picture somewhere. I'll try to find it.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
Nice.
They literally.
He was mad, man. He was
mad.
He was ready to go.
Like that.
That was funny because he like yelled at him once. And then everybody got quiet, and then he like turned Justin turned right back around and said, "And then a fucking other thing."
He's going off on him again. And we're all, Jesus.
He didn't have nothing to say after that.
That was hectic, dude. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, it's right here. They're giving horns up. Like, hold on, I'll share this. Like everything's all good, and they literally were about to fight. Like it stopped. Let's see if I can. I think it's this one. It's small, this right here.
Yep.
They were just so pre that photo. They were
pre-fight. That's the pre-fight.
They were screaming.
Oh, right after they go for it. or
this was like this was after they already went at it.
okay.
And like literally, like Justin was like, "Whatever, dude, it's fucking all good, whatever." And they just took this picture. And I remember like how heated shit was before that.
Understanding reached.
Yeah.
Choose everybody as shit and don't be a dick.
That was that was my first time, and I think Casey's first time in Europe. We were completely newbies out there, and I remember getting out there and like looking for someone to like, where do we go? Like when we landed in Berlin, like, and I remember like everyone was just like in this corner like waiting, and that's when we all kind of met. And then that was actually one of my like highlights of touring ever. Was we took the bus, parked it somewhere for a day, and we just all got beers, and we all just like hung out and partied and just like drank and kind of got to know all of each other. We like
was that Rotterdam?
No, that was another one though. I actually talked about that before watching the Polish like Behemoth Road Crew. Watch Chris Rock. Watch the Chris Rock special.
Day off out there, in Holland. Yeah,
they're all like sitting there watching it, and like Chris Rock's just like dropping a fucking hilarious thing, and they're all staring at it like this. And then like he would just do a random thing, like a not funny part, and they would all start cracking up super hard. And I'm like,
that's fucking weird, dude. Because I just when we flew over to Maryland to do with Odious, that we watched Chris Rock on the plane, dude. What's up with Chris Rock and being on tour or something, dude?
It's Providence, man.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's funny. I remember like flying into Berlin, then being like waiting, and then all of a sudden we're like, man, this is trippy. Like, where are we and stuff? And then we see like in the corner these dudes with cowboy hats on, or at least Derek had one on or something. And they were like, oh, what the hell? Hey, he's all tall and shit. So we like go over there. And then and then it's just like, they're like, yeah, dude, kill, like, King, and like everyone just like,
guys,
like,
know.
Oh. It was like totally back to like our culture was like culture shock Germany, like, where the fuck are we? Like, and then all of a sudden it's just all these like super just fucking America. Oh, we're back. We're it was like, I was like, okay. And then it was just funny being in Europe with like.
No, Clint, after that first day that we like did that party, hang out, get to know each other, everyone bought beer stuff, I like woke up and was like so hungover, and I was like, there's no fucking water on this goddamn bus. So I just stumbled out and started walking down like wherever in Berlin, and people, it was like 6 a.m. probably there, and they were just like not letting me in their shops and shit. They were like, no, dude. I'm just like got a death metal shirt on. I'm just like fucking haggard as fuck. I'm like, water? And they're like, no. Like, I'm just like, bro, I need water. And then finally I got water, and it was this big old thing of water. I'm like, fuck yeah, fucking sparkling. And I was like, whatever. I was like,
my throat.
Sparkling water. Yeah, there's no flat water.
Yeah, I was so bummed. God.
Oh, there is. You just have to ask for it.
Yep. I did not ask for it. And no bubble. And then once they like set up like your food when you show up there too. I made the mistake of like they had cereal for us, and then they had the bowl of sugar, I thought, and I just like put it all in there and shit, and then just took a bite, and it was just all salt. I was like, fuck, like a worst bite of fucking Kellogg's I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, it's always with a show or a tour or something like that. It's always something crazy, man. Like.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Like Trent, like we did that Columbia thing. We missed our fucking plane.
Yeah,
or
Newark, New Jersey, instead of being in Bogota, Colombia.
Yeah,
we literally showed up with no sleep. Yeah, like we had the hour before we had to go on stage.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Then we had to like the show was done. We had like 2 hours to sleep. Then we had to like get on a bus and like get smuggled into Ecuador.
We didn't even have that. We went back to the hotel after the show, and I think you and Josh, maybe, or I think 2 of you got the shower, and then we had to go back to the airport to fly because we had to go to Ecuador.
Yeah, that was brutal.
And that was another story because we got pretty much smuggled into Ecuador. Like it wasn't a straight flight. We flew to southern Colombia and then took.
They switched buses. They kept transfers to different buses until it was like, oh shit. And then they have some scheme where they can get us across the border without having to pay money.
Oh no, that's the worst.
Yeah.
It's like
at the airport back, they were like, "Why don't you have a stamp for this country?" I don't know. We crossed the border and saw your border agents, but they didn't stamp our book, so they didn't check us.
Yeah, we call us back, question us, and they let us go. It was like this one was like God damn, them motherfuckers.
Damn.
God, that's so sketchy, dude. Yeah, getting smuggled in. Like we've had people that too have like DUIs and stuff, and doing the whole up at the falls, Niagara Falls.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Well, we did that with James Lee actually.
Yeah, I did Mike Hamilton. Mike Hamilton was like, "Yeah, dude, he like had it down. He was like, he had a camera around his neck. He's like, all right, I'm gonna drop him off there, and he's like, I'm just taking pictures of the falls.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 just taking. Kept going, and then we just went and swooped and picked him up, and then
Yeah, dude. And he rode in the odious van, and we had Mortal Kombat tournaments because we had PS2 in there, dude.
Yeah, classic.
We rented a van called from a company called Bandigo. I don't know.
Yeah, Bandigo.
And it was just a 15-passenger van, but they hooked it up with a couple of screens and.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, at the time, dude, that was like high.
We had an
high-tech.
auxiliary. We had an auxiliary plug-in. That was something kind of new then. We could like plug our iPods in.
Nice.
Royal treatment.
But yeah, dude, Mortal Kombat. I brought like a booklet of PS2 and PS1 games, and basically it was Mortal Kombat, and Dan Eggers fucking whooped everybody all the fucking time.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Dude.
We'd be constantly just passing the controller around the van as Eggers just keeps his in his hands because everybody's fucking trying to beat him, dude.
Dude, that Mortal Kombat arcade we had in my old job in the break room, and we would get fucking rowdy with that game. We would like put money on it. We would like go down, sneak down during like when we're not supposed to do it, and like get down like, all right, dude, we can do one game. I'm like, fuck you, dude, I'll take you out. Like just like go down there and just play. It was like it's lit, but it's one of those games though that you can get people like I've like Liu Kang or something. I was Liu Kang, and I found a way just to like you just couldn't win. Like,
Scorpion, dude.
Like, you do a kick and you get them in the air, and then you do the bicycle kick, and then you do a kick, and then bicycle, and they just get stuck, and they just be like, "Fuck!" and have to put their hands up. Like there's like certain things you can do in those like old like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat games where it's like you're fucked. There's not, there's no.
I doubt if you were doing those infinite combos that those people are like, oh fuck, I lose. That sucks. I doubt that's how that ended.
Yeah, no, it was very angry. Yeah. It's like that's cheating, dude. Fucking, do that whole conversation.
Yeah.
It's a classic conversation. But anyways,
sneaking people into Canada is fun though, dude. It made me feel kind of cool. And the fact that allegedly we weren't even a band on that tour. We were just roadies.
Oh, so. Yeah, you can only do the whole like, hey, we're just doing this for promotional purposes for so long. Like with the merch and stuff. That ends after I'm sure they keep record and they're like, all right, dude, pay taxes on all this.
Let's just say that Casey's drums were a lot heavier going into Canada than they were coming out.
Yeah, I've done that one.
No idea. They pull you over and they look at all your stuff and are like, we're fucked. And they just don't look at that and are like, thank God, dude.
Yeah. We still, it was, I think the Vile guys were stuck the longest, I think, right? We were stuck there for a little bit.
I mean,
I think it was Brain Drill, actually. Sorry.
No, that was the other one. That was the oh shit. We've talked about it before.
I remember previous episode. We showed up before Cannibal and they left before we did because they gave us a pretty hard time.
Dang.
Yeah.
I think a couple of us had some DUIs or something like that, so they fucked with us quite a long time and then charged us quite a bit of money just to let us go in.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about DUIs and going to Canada is like, from what people always like tell me that aren't touring people, they're like, well, if you have a DUI, you can't get into Canada. I'm like, you can, but you might not. So it's like a coin flip. It's like, sometimes they'll just be like, go like fuck off, you're not coming in. Sometimes they're like, you pay us this money, and sometimes they're just like, yeah, come on through. So it's like it's really just a coin flip going through Canada with not that I have one, but I had friends that had them, and it would just be like, maybe I'm going. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, it really just depends on the guards you get.
Yeah.
Dude, we didn't even have to get coming back into the States. We were all fucking baked, dude, because we got a bunch of weed and we smoked so much before because we knew we couldn't take it. We were eating nugs like it didn't even matter.
Because we were so broke, it's like, dude, you don't want to ruin it waste it.
Yeah. Even though we did get a lot for the amount of money. But So we're all baked, and they just like fucked with us a little bit for. You had some Canadian cigarettes. Do you remember that?
No, sounds true though.
Or because I don't think David Siskin was smoking, was he?
I mean, I forget. It's been a long time. It's been
You were,
like 20 years.
I know, but you were the cigarette smoker.
Remember, dude? Come on.
I was. I was definitely smoking cigarettes back then. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Well, and by the way, they're scary as fuck. Those packs of cigarettes up there, dude. They actually show you like rotted
Lung cancer.
Yeah. Yes, I remember seeing that shit.
It's pretty metal. But I want to get into some deep unmerciful stuff here. But I have one more little reminiscent thing I wanted to bring up real fast before. But Joel, remember the whole like that time? One of the times we tried to get through at Decrepit, and it was like in the middle of Canada or something like that. And then they just were gonna. They didn't like Bill or whatever it was, and they're like we're gonna tax like, or they were gonna charge us like fucking 10 plus grand or something to come in or something crazy. They're gonna tax us on all the merch or whatever
because of his dreads.
Yeah, like I don't even know what it was, but they didn't. That was one of those coin flip that went bad, and it was just like we had to like not go into Canada. Like we had to like stay in. Maybe it was in Washington. Maybe it was on the. I can't remember where it was.
It was a weird entry port. I think it was like a Montana entry, somewhere weird.
Oh man.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We had to just post up at a hotel for a couple of days and wait for the tour to come back out because it was just like
summer
we're not getting into Canada. They were going to tax us on. It might have been. We had a bunch of merch, and they were just going to like tax on it.
Summer slaughter.
It's all crazy. And then we were at some hotel. You remember the whole like what was the guy's name, Kenny or something? Like
Kenny?
Remember there was like some dude that was gonna like get some herb or something like that.
Oh, that whole thing. Just like scammed Bill.
It was like the funniest shit ever, dude.
Bill like giving him the money, like he's like, I know you're gonna scam me, but please don't or something. It's like a weird like mousy guy, like couldn't fight or anything, but like was just a drug addict and was like probably got told by someone else that he was
like
gonna
motel.
Yeah, I know.
Stuck for 3 days, just losing our minds, like
just scammed in front of our face, and we knew it was coming. And Bill, I was like, Bill, don't do it. He's not chill. The guy's not chill. And he's like,
that's like the Artie Lang joke.
Yeah, dude, I'll fucking hook you up. Like,
and then it was like he's like leaving messages. I was like, hey Kenny, we're gonna come get you or something. He's like, Bill's like, he's like, yeah, I know, he fucked you. You know, he was like, we accepted.
That's his fault.
It was like
that's Bill's fault.
really funny, dude. Like the weird, sketchy lives of, yeah, dude. Like by the Canadian border in a motel, just like weird fucking people, dude.
Yeah, that's.
Anyways, yeah.
I'm sure it's a lot easier to get weed now up there.
Anyways,
are we doing an episode? Are we gonna do the
trailed off in the Canadian?
You want to go live now? Do you want to go live?
We should. Yeah. We're not. Oh, we are live. Shit. Okay. But like, so backstory and stuff. Like, I mean, we had the Unmerciful 1 episode. I think it was episode 66 or something like that. So it's been a minute, you know. Do you want to get into? We didn't have Trent on though, for sure, and on that one,
yeah, I guess I
that?
definitely want to hear what's going on
I don't
since
think
then.
Quentin was on. I haven't seen
He wasn't
Quentin
on
in a
that
long
one.
time.
No,
Yeah,
last time it was just Justin and myself.
Justin, that's right, dude. Yeah. So, Anthony, you take over. Where do you want to go?
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say what's been going on since then. So 66. What does it say? What month or year that was?
I mean, it must have been 2021 or something.
Yeah, dude. So what have you guys been like building up to this and all that? What was life like during that time till now?
Well, the last album, the COVID hit, it just totally destroyed it. And, it's just like a lot of being on standby, and stuff finally started, happening, and we were able to kind of support the album here and there. But, but that gap, we were relatively pretty quiet. And I would say about 3 or 2.5, 3 years ago, that's when everybody started, probably everybody started thinking about the new album, and songs started coming up. And Jeremy started out by writing a few songs, and we started playing them live. And then then as soon as we got a couple cool shows. We did a little tour with Decrepit. Just kind of ended up had to leave that a little bit early, but then we got a couple gigs, got the South America thing. I think it really got our juices going, and then we just kind of got in the mode. It's like, let's do this album.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
awesome.
and then we just got it done.
I got a question. How do you guys write and retain or remember your parts? Like, do you record like yourselves? Like, what do you do? Use Guitar Pro? Do you record yourself on the phone? Do you just remember it in the head? Do you write it down? Like, what do you do like to compose your
I
shit?
think we all do it a little bit differently. Hold on, I'm gonna get some light here.
Oh, cool.
We all do a little bit differently. I do a lot of. I'll record. I'll do some mock drums, send them to Trent, like using MIDI. Then I'll just record it by riff and just kind of pick stuff apart. And certain songs I just kind of write. Some certain songs I'll just kind of let it cook a little bit, work with it a little bit, and come up with parts.
Do you write
until I get to something?
Sorry, do you write drum parts or guitar parts first, and then
Me?
add the drum? Like, what comes first, the guitar riffs or the drum parts?
I think the guitar. I write some riffs I leave to interpretation. Some already have drums in mind, so that's easy. So I would say it's almost these days. It's kind of almost like drums first. I'm just thinking of how. Yeah, and not particular drum parts, but what type of beat? Is it a blast beat, single foot, double foot? Is it a slower beat, double bass?
That's cool. Yeah, because I know Matt. I think in the Decrepit, like I think he writes a lot of the shit with like drums first, or but it might be like what you're saying. Like it's not just drums random. Like he's got an idea in mind, and then he's just like, here's the part, and then he puts it all. Because he used to write like that too. I feel like those are the most common ways that I've heard of writing is like recording to like MIDI drums, and then you send it, and he's like, here it is, or like Guitar Pro or tabbing it out or something.
Yeah, and then the tabbing out Guitar Pro, so that's how it usually comes later.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Interesting.
But that's pretty much it. It's like, the idea comes the guitar, but when the whole riff, usually I kind of put the drums with it just for particular parts.
How do you do the MIDI drums?
I'm a long-time Pro Tools user, and I'll write the parts on MIDI. I'll just use Superior Drummer, the death metal plugin, and just write the basic beats. I don't write really. I don't do like obviously the hard. When you write with drums, you don't want to spend a bunch of time working out like particular fills or polyrhythm stuff or anything like that. You just want to get the basics down and maybe do it if there's a couple tricks that you really want in there. But write those couple little tricks, but don't get too far into it. The whole point is to keep it flowing, so you don't dwell on it too much. You'll get lost in it, and then you just kind of lost your whole thing. If that makes any sense.
No, it totally makes sense.
So Trent,
that's what we got Trent for. I give him the basics, and he can.
So how do you interpret that shit for you, Trent? Like, how do you learn the parts? Do you get the recordings and then go, cool, I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna jazz it up or whatever, do my thing, or how do you approach that?
Yeah, it's always kind of scary whenever Clint or Jeremy will like send me something like have drums and they're like, hey, can you play this? Like, God damn, if they're asking me this, like if that's all I see and I haven't heard the track yet, I'm like, God damn it, what am I about to listen to? But I would say that Clint and Jeremy, we've been playing together long enough that they, kind of know what my skill set is and what I can and can't do. But it may not be answering the question, but I do want to say, like, this album, I feel like we've been the most like collaborative, at least like from my perspective, it seems like it's been the most collaborative. Like I've recorded, like I'll get the guitars and maybe have listened to some of the drums that Clint has sent. but I've recorded the just some mock drums, and I'll send it to him. And I mean, there were like 2 songs that I sent him drums to, and he's like, "Yeah,
That's cool.
do that, but just completely different."
Damn.
But
Yeah. So you record yourself like at home and then send it back to Clint? That you said?
Oh,
yeah,
I got
like
some-
not with like every song. There are some songs that just we kind of hash out in the practice space, but just with some of the more like maybe complex songs, or if I'm hearing something in particular and I want the guys to listen to it, I'll track it here at home and I'll send it to them, and I'll send them like videos just so they can see and hear what I'm doing. But if we're like hashing something out in practice, Clint or Jeremy be like, I'm just really feeling like a blast beat over this part, or kind of give me a feel for it, and then I take that, I try and stay true to that feel, and just add my own flavor to it. And if they don't like something, they'll tell me.
Do you guys ever freestyle with each other in the jam room? Just start
like warming
riffing
up.
and then start.
Warming
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
guys, we practice at my house, and I'm in Topeka, and Trent's in Kansas City, and Jeremy's in Baldwin City. So when they come, it's like we kind of just have to get down to business.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to get back home. But warming up, yeah, we do. And then,
Anything spark an idea in any of those warm ups where it actually?
Yeah, here and there it happens.
Nice. Yeah, I love that, dude. Just pulling ideas out of thin air.
I think sometimes the jamming is also just, it doesn't necessarily mean like exactly what you played needs to be like remembered and written down. It's just like the overall direction and vibe. Like you're like, okay, you can, it probably gives you a lot of ideas to like when you're writing, like it's like in the back of your mind, like
it's kind of like if we like mess around with something and something that sounds cool, it's like, oh, we'll put a pin in that, come back to it later.
Yeah.
That kind of happens sometimes.
Shout out to Ian, dude. Made me giggle, dude. Joel was quicker on the trigger to pull you up, but I definitely wanted that up. Antiques Chode Show, dude. That's fucking sick.
Hey guys, I might have to bounce. I might have to do a
nah, dude. You go enjoy your vacation, brother.
But man, this has been fun. Please send me the link for the coffee and all that stuff, and let's do it again.
Hey, before you bounce, Clint, I got real quick. I just uploaded this for us. Okay, this is just doing a quick little run through of Europe. We got all of us there.
Fuck yeah! Look at them! Look at them beautiful individuals.
We got that. Shit. Got me as a bunny with Tony. Got me and the Cryptopsy dude.
Yeah, he's like, whoa, these guys are crazy.
Eating somewhere.
I remember that. Oh my god,
Eric. That's me. I remember this specifically. I was doing the sound check with you guys. So I like I was like just freestyling your songs, just trying to get it done. That was Hannes Grossman and
yes,
yeah, that was awesome. And then I don't know where the fuck that is. Copenhagen, maybe? I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe Copenhagen. Yeah.
And this one actually,
that's where we got off the bus in that college, and all these beautiful women are just everywhere.
Copenhagen. Just like as far as like the fucking structures too. That place is like the most impressive.
That was in Belgium.
It was Belgium.
Primus
Belgium.
Club.
I remember exactly that. This was Belgium and seeing like a Primus.
Belgium.
Primus right over the Cheers logo. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, anyways, I had some just those pictures to throw you back a little bit. But
send them to me.
Hanging out. Yeah, for sure.
I don't have them.
For sure, man. I definitely will.
Well, Clint, dude, you're more than welcome to come back on too. I'd like to do a solo episode with you, Clint.
Yeah, sure, man. Just send me an invite.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'll do it.
I'll get in touch with you. But
the next time we're in California, which should probably be soon, we're hitting you guys up.
Hell yeah, dude. That'd be rad.
And, I actually hung out with a buddy of mine in Oceanside several years back, man. I think I reached out to you, Casey, but you were working and you were teaching music.
Oh, okay.
At your place. I wasn't able to like meet up with you, but man, we hung out in Oceanside. We went to a strip club.
Nice.
Me and my buddy walked out with these 2 girls' numbers. It was crazy.
What?
Quit lying, Clint.
It was Jeff Newton.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
Jeremy goes,
Did the girls look like this?
they were hot meth heads.
They still had their teeth, dude.
Yeah, they weren't going to have them long, but they were young. But they were good looking. Right. It was a decent strip club. I mean,
hell yeah.
But anyway, let me get out of here. I will talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch, dude, and enjoy the rest of your time out in paradise.
I will, man. It's gonna be a blast.
Rock on, dude.
Yeah, man. Take it easy, bud. Good to see you.
All right, fellas, and I'll talk to you guys soon over the weekend.
All right.
JT and Trent. Peace.
Peace. Later.
I gave like the ET peace sign. I was like, I get those fingers erect.
Decrepit finger, ET.
Yeah. Hey.
So why don't we get a little of Trent's story, dude? So obviously we talked about later on in life. Let's talk about early life a little bit. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in St. Joseph, Missouri.
Okay.
It's like 70 miles north of Kansas City.
That's where the Chiefs.
How far is that from Joplin? How far is it from Joplin?
That's where the Chiefs do their camps there.
Yeah,
Joplin is south. St. Joe's about an hour north of Kansas City.
Joplin's the one that got nailed, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they got demolished a few years ago.
That's my mom's side came from there, and I still have some family out there, but my great grandma was out there, so I would go out there during the summer and spend at least like 3 weeks at her place, and she stuffed me full of peach cobbler and fucking catfish and
my sister used to live out there for quite a while. What's up, Ian? If that is Ian.
That is Ian.
I don't know. Okay. What's up, Ian? And I don't know if you like want my like life story or something.
Well, I mean, all right. So if I what's up?
Yeah, maybe direct me a little bit.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
so, the question that we always ask people, when they're on the show is like an early memory with music or art or something that sparked the creativity, because you're here now obviously through a creative process. So
yeah,
where do you think it was sparked, and what do you think sparked it?
So that's pretty easy. Growing up, my mom was super into music, and she would, if she ever sees this podcast, she's going to murder me. But she would like come home from the bar and would just crank music. And I distinctly remember like Metallica, and like, it's like, I mean, it is what it is. My gateway was my mom listening to Metallica. And at one point my mom was cooler than me, and I could admit that.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, just like everybody else, that like Metallica was my gateway drug, and just as on that quest for heavier and heavier music. And, my gateway into death metal.
But along the way, what was it? So Metallica started it. What was like that was sick, dude.
Right in the mic like a pro, dude.
We like to hear the acceleration too. Like, so Metallica started it. Was there any other styles of music that you were getting into, or was it straight rock and roll as soon as you fucking heard it?
And I was so young that like, I mean, I'm sure like I heard like other music, but it was just like once I heard Metallica, that was my jam.
Yeah. And what album was it?
Master of Puppets, and then she bought it. She wasn't too into that one, but Black Album. Once that came out, like that was on nonstop. So that's what I have most memory of.
Is Black Album. Nice.
Yeah.
We always ask because it is kind of that's the number one at the top of the list of the first metal band that most people say on this show. 220 episodes in. So then I ask which album it is, and Master of Puppets has got to be at the top of the list.
Black Album, people don't admit to the Black Album enough. And for me, that my brother gave me the Black Album on a cassette tape when I was a kid, and that helped a lot. And then my brother was all death metal at the time, so he was already death metal. And so he was just like, yeah,
but he kind of knew how to start you light.
Yeah. And I was like, because I was like listening to alternative 90s, like Smashing Pumpkins and and then
Offspring,
I was classic rock before that, Offspring, things like that before that. And then my brother's like slowly like just dropping it in there, and then on the back of the Metallica album was Effigy of the Forgotten. So like it's like, hey, do you start at 3, and then here's 11 on the other side if you want to go to 11. But that Black Album, I mean, for me, everyone, I'm at the age where it doesn't suck to me. I think the recording on it's ridiculous. Like I always hear that recording and I'm like, how the fuck did they do that back then? Like that, the way the guitars sound, the way the drums sound, everything's just like, to me, it's the cleanest recording I think I've ever heard. Still, like as far
I never denounced it. I'm just putting myself on the record. I never denounced
the old school dudes will be like, and then I heard which I totally agree with. If you were to start with Metallica, like as far as like chronologically, and then hear the Black Album, like I get it. But like if you start there and then you hear old stuff after, then I feel like it's like it just makes I don't think it sucks. Like I don't think it's terrible.
I will say
people are like, it's the worst thing that ever happened. Like Jonas Bristling, one of my favorite guitar players in all of metal, was like, I heard that shit and fucking, and I'd sit there and just be like, yeah, dude. Like in my heart, I know like it started me going, getting down to with a distorted guitar, palm muted riff, stuff like that. So I was like, to me it was a big deal. But it's funny just doing this podcast for so long. Like the Black Album's always like that. The Black Album's a gray area. See, I did that.
It is.
But it's always like people are like don't want to admit they like it ever. It's kind of like I've just noticed it. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm just saying I've noticed it through the pods.
No, he's actually giving you praise for saying that.
Yeah, for sure.
Black Album is really the.
I mean, it is what it is. Yeah.
No, for sure, dude. I mean, dude, I grew up on doo-wop and shit like that. You got fucking Black Album already. Come on. So then the Black Album was a thing, and then talk about introductions to other bands that gave you that same feeling.
So after that, like I kind of floated around with like genres. Like I didn't stay like metal, like I did like listen to other stuff. And I'm probably gonna get hate for it, but again, it is what it is. But Slipknot's self-titled album, like,
oh dude,
our listeners are gonna fucking roll their eyes like a motherfucker, but you just literally just fell into the new metal fucking trap on this show.
But
no,
in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah.
So how old are
you? 39.
Oh,
see,
dude,
he's
perfect.
right. He's right in that little fucking that.
Casey's back
Casey
to be like,
right back at perfect time, dude.
Yeah, I got my. I heard everything. I heard the whole. I was gonna chime in. I missed it. It's fine.
That's a very prominent album for both me and Joel. Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
So obviously that's the next gradual step, right, into extreme shit.
Especially the drumming
that's a
like
great
that.
bridge right there, dude.
Yeah.
And then like after that, I bought because like back in those days, like you couldn't really like preview music like you can now. Like you just like I would go to like record stores and be like, man, that album cover, that artwork looks awesome. They have to be an awesome band by proxy. So I just would just go spend money and buy albums that look cool. And some of my first
that cover, dude. Just let's stop and talk about that cover real quick because it very much pulls you in, dude. And as a band, I'm just gonna say it's not cool. It's not really cool to be you on. Yeah, it's not really cool to have the band on the cover if you're a metal band. But their image was, you know, and the way that they're placed, there's humor in it. I mean, fucking long nose is sitting in between Corey's legs, so he's got a fucking
so many fails though with me and there's amazing successes going to record stores and finding buying based on album cover. Just going like, all right, I still have like to this day like Carrie, my best friend, and we always talk about like I was like, dude, that Reprobation's coming out, dude. It's got the sick fucking album cover, but he's all, I'm gonna check out the Spawn of Possession. I'm gonna do that instead, and blah blah. I'm like, dude, this Reprobation is gonna be sick as fuck, dude. Like everyone's, and I was like, we were all talking shit, like going to the car, and I put the Reprobation in, and I was like, yeah, it's all right. And then he put in Spawn, and I was like, God damn it, fucking, like, you know, like we sat there in silence. We were like, it was 2002 or something. We were like, what was this? What was it? We were like completely bewildered. We were like, these guys are. This a band or like what's we like couldn't even speak and just like just a lot of those though, like we buying on the album cover and then label like we were talking about earlier, like looking at the label being like, all right, they're on you know whatever Unique Leader obviously, but like judging by the like, all right, the season's a mist, all right, maybe we'll give them a shot, you know. It would be that whole game is what you have. That's what we always talk about on the show like a million times, but that's what the fun part about this would be. Like going there, not having just taking it's gambling. You're just straight up. It's like gambling on music. Going like, all right.
But you hit it when you hit it. It fucking feels good, dude.
Yeah, that's why it's gambling. It's same with gambling. When you hit red or whatever, red 30 or black 33 or something, you're like, fuck yeah, dude. And then you get paid a bunch of money. So it's kind of like the same, but same.
Go there with like $40, dude, and just flip through the used section and get the $3 to $5 fucking CDs.
Yep.
Hopefully, like a stack, maybe like a good day would be, you know, 3/4 of them are keepable, but sometimes you fucking get a stack and sell it back to them for $1 a piece, like an idiot, just like you would be in the fucking casino. It's so funny now that that comparison has never come up, dude, and it totally makes sense.
It's betting.
It is. It's a fucking gamble, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, real quick, we have a little announcement. We had a little party.
Oh,
party hat.
Reef wants us. All right,
Joel, you want to announce what?
No, I finally did the bass tracks for the new Odious album.
You're done,
nice, dude.
You're done.
It's done.
All right.
So now I'm
coming to
a raccoon in the corner, and I'm supposed to fight my way out.
Yeah. So vocals, what, August, right?
Yeah.
Finally.
Dude.
Pressure's on Anthony. Anthony, you got to do
Pressure's
really
all
good
on
at
me
it
now, dude.
So we're all you know, excited about all these albums coming out and Unmerciful and all this. And we're like, so it was kind of fun. It was like, yeah, it was just cool that we had. I was very excited about. I've been messaging you, Jeremy, for a few months now, just like, because you guys have got to get you guys back on. We want to do this again, and then you were like, well, we're going to be releasing this new album and stuff, and it was perfect timing to, of course, talk about it and you know, listen to the album, and it's like all awesome. So yeah, we love you guys, and we appreciate the brothers in the scene that, like I said, man, like I want to get into a conversation at some point tonight just about heavy parts, but I want to continue with the timeline. But
yeah, for sure.
I appreciate you guys and stoked on these new releases coming out. Shout out to Ominous Ruin, our brother Alex. That album's sick. Willowtip Records. Shout out to Jason, and I don't know who else is still there, but and just I just love this shit coming out, man. It's so nice to just have people still making music and releasing cool shit.
It is really cool.
Really
if you
cool
think
album.
about it. Like 2 decades ago, we were all playing music, and now we're here talking about it and doing it.
How fun is it to put out albums? Right? Go ahead. Sorry.
It's a lot of fun. I just hate the waiting game.
Yeah.
We started recording the album last year, and it didn't come out until this year. So I don't know. It always takes longer than what I want it to, but I mean, it was definitely worth it this time because this is probably, I feel it's the best album I've been a part of any band I've been in. So
Nice.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and I'm a picky motherfucker. So
did you record at home and reamp, or did you record in the studio?
I recorded at Clint's.
Okay.
Like you asked him what he did when like pre-production and writing songs. I do not program drum parts. I just record my guitars. I just use Reaper and a cheap little Focusrite 2 in, 2 out. Serves its purpose.
Yeah.
Then I just send it to Trent, and I think I have a little more freedom because I know that Trent knows what I like and what I want and what I expect. And if I do have parts, I will relay those ideas to him. And of course, like he said, he's been with us long enough. He knows to accent it here and to do this over there. And I did come into this album saying that I mean, I personally wanted us to be more aggressive if that's possible, but yeah, like I said,
Unmerciful wanting to be more aggressive.
right, yeah.
Less merciful, like
kind of an oxymoron, I guess. But yeah, like I said, I'm really happy with how this album came out. So,
dude, it's sick. I've been listening to it a little bit. It's fucking awesome, dude.
That's a cool feeling to be through what you've done, Jeremy, and feel like this is the best thing that you've been a part of.
Yeah.
I mean, not to take away from Origin at all, because I'm
obviously I'm just
very proud and honored to be a part of that band.
And it's just a good feeling, you know, to be through what you've been through and to be still active and feeling that positive thoughts, those positive thoughts towards what you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I've started out in metal a long time ago. I listen to other types of music too, but I've always wanted the heavier and heavier music, just like many of us or most of us or all of us or however it works. And yeah,
so you just decided to make the heaviest.
Well, I mean, we're trying. Yeah,
Well,
I don't know. It's fucking relentless, and that's how I love it. So
I think I think we got to just have this little conversation real fast. I think,
and we got to get back to Trent because we were literally in the middle of his shit, and then we just jumped out of it.
I want to talk about heavy.
I'm used to it. I'm a drummer.
Yeah, he's like sitting in the back being quiet, letting
he's sitting there with his drumsticks, like, all right, dude, they're just gonna play riffs all day. Sick, dude.
Yeah.
You should have like a little kit back there. You could just start like noodling while we're talking, just like making noise, like when we're tuning. You know?
Yeah,
that'd be funny to have like for the podcast, just have a drummer in like the back, just like
totally
sits there and like every now and then throws out something and just goes like, all right, and just goes on mute and starts playing drums.
we need that like Oscars like timer where it's like, okay, the music starts. It's like, okay, shut up. Like, you know. Right. Well, okay, so back to Trent. So where were we? Faster Puppets. What was
and
it?
then Slipknot, and then going to more aggressive music from there.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
when you started to play drums, dude, like when did that start?
Oh yeah.
Oh God. I don't know. I started out playing guitar actually, which I still play guitar.
Nice.
And I don't know, I was like maybe 11 or 12. The band that I was like playing in, they were like, we need a drummer. So I was like, okay, well, I've never played drums before, so let's figure that out. And I just started playing drums, and I just liked playing drums more and just kept playing. I still played guitar like on the side and stuff.
How did you acquire that first guitar? Was it a present? Did you save up for it?
It was a buddy of mine's guitar that he got, and he played bass. And so I was like, hey, let me play your guitar. And it was a red Flying V.
Nice.
And it was like a J.C. Penney's special or something.
Yep.
Yeah, just kept playing.
What was the first song you were super stoked on getting a riff down?
Oh, on guitar?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I don't think I ever. Trying to think of. I don't know that I ever learned any like songs in the beginning.
So yeah, like traditional learning, like learning the scales and all that kind of stuff. Is that what you were?
No, it was just like riffs that that the band had played.
Oh, okay. So they were just teaching you riffs and you were playing them.
Yeah, and
That's the way.
and I mean, like that life cycle right there, like we're talking like less than a year that I was playing guitar, and they needed a drummer, and so that's when I switched over.
Well, you were good enough to be in a band, though. That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's debatable at that time. I tried to like rehearse, like the kid was over at this guy's house, and I tried to like play drums as much as I could, and he got eventually annoyed, and he said I couldn't play with drumsticks anymore, so I had to play with my hands to like keep it quiet. And at the time I was like, oh cool, he's just, he wants me to keep practicing, but looking back is because I was probably awful and didn't want to listen to it anymore.
So then, all right. So you self-taught on the drums. Then you just switched over and you said, I'm learning how to do drums.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I took like some lessons. Yeah, no worries. I mean, I took some lessons, but it was actually later. And like during like COVID, I actually took a couple lessons. Took some Skype lessons from Yanni from Dark Funeral, John Origin, Bloodhammer. Yeah, Bloodhammer.
So going into a drum, actually, this is one thing that I had because my buddy Greg Elysian was giving guitar lessons over. He does the Skype lessons and stuff like that. One thing that like, because he was like, oh, I really need it right now, blah blah, and I was like, and my job was going really well at the time, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just I'll do some lessons with you because I want to pick your brain on some stuff. One thing I didn't know going into like a lesson was like, I don't know, explaining what you need to work on the most. So going into a lesson, like to me, I was always like, I need to like I don't know, my picking and my hand and my left hand, and I started like just like picking apart my playing, and then I was like showing him my style, and he was like, "Oh, you don't need to work on that. That's fine." I was like, "Well, yeah. It's down picking. I want to work my alternate picking. I really need to get that like comfortable. Like finding a certain thing. Would you just go into the lesson and be like, teach me how to do this, or would you be like, I'm doing this? And for me, like online lessons are this new format. And this is kind of what I'm getting at with my question. Is like how you go sit down with someone, especially with drums, online. It sounds like a crazy experience to have like, a webcam or whatever kind of microphone you're doing. But like, let's say you're going to sit down with a lesson with someone that you really respect right now. What would you sit down and ask them?
So like when I took these lessons, it was, like I would show them, like my like technique and stuff and just see if they had any feedback. But it was also like to try and be respectful of their time, because, everybody's got to eat. And I would just see how they approach stuff. And, regardless of how good you are, there's always stuff you can learn from somebody, regardless of where you're at or where they're at.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was more so just like, hey, this is how I'm doing stuff. This is how I approach stuff. What are your thoughts? Do you have any feedback? Anything that you see is like a problem. And then I would just pick their brain about their technique, how they approach stuff, and, and just pay them for their time.
Yeah, Definitely. Okay, that's cool.
That's
Just
that's
like
super smart, dude.
play
I
in
mean,
front of them, be like, all right, what do you see that's wrong? and then
Yeah.
be like, how do you make that better? All right, let's do this
Side-
quickly.
Yeah.
Side pick- oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, sorry.
Are you guys familiar with?
We're on the old delay webcam shit.
Just real quick, just real. I don't want to turn this into a whole like side thought, but like, are you familiar with Jeff Berlin, the bass player? He played with like everybody, but yeah, Jocko and everyone. He is crazy. So he's has this like internet kind of thing that's been going on where he's just like, there's only kind of one way to learn an instrument, which is like the traditional kind of way, you know,
like no metronome, right? His whole thing's no metronome.
Yeah,
right?
and like also like all those kind of just side thoughts are just kind of secondary to just like academic like education. Like you should just like it's like you don't learn trumpet like multiple kind of sideways, you know, like or like how do you blow the air, like, and you know, it's just all like everything's super didactic or something. And so it's funny because it's like the music we play is super not academic, you know, it's like the farthest thing from. And so it's like really interesting, like seeing some of that stuff. And like, I don't want to turn it into a long conversation. It's just kind of funny that he like is he's very like, you know, one side.
This is how you have to do it. This is how the thing has to go,
but,
rather than like you giving your own.
Basically, what I think is interesting is like learning shit that you just can't do. Like, so it's just like I remember like when I went to study, I did some drum lessons with the jazz drum guy at SF State, and I was just like come in there and I can like play and I can have chops or whatever to a certain degree, but I can't play jazz and I can't do any of that shit. And he was just like, "Oh, do this," and I was just like, "I have no idea how you." It's a completely like learning a completely different style. So I think that's another thing that's really cool. Kind of to answer your question too, Joel, is like someone like when you go to take lessons from someone, say they studied some other style of music, or they, you know, you get like other influences from all these other things, and you're just like, whoa, like, or techniques can be involved too, but it's like, just like, how do you play? Some guy can just shred, like Derek Roddy, for example, can play jazz really good. Like he's like he can play like fast. He's done some recordings and some stuff he's posted, playing like really fast, like Tony Williams style jazz shit. That's like, damn. So he definitely studied like, I'd almost want to get some of that out of him. Like how you know, kind of, so yeah, it's kind of like, there's like I think just anytime you get someone else, and then dude, John's insane, of course, but like anytime you get anyone else, like just like their different brain, I think is part of it too. It's not just like, oh, the technique, like I move my finger here, and everyone has their own technique. That's the thing too. It's like, oh, that's why that guy was like to you, Joel, like, well, you play that way, like it's cool, like you're good, like it's already good.
He's like, I can't do that, and I'm like, well, cool. Exactly. I can't do the easier way.
So it's not all about technique. It's all about like learning other ways, like other languages, and like in music, like other. Oh shit, you can play that, and you know, so. And like Trent, dude, I think your drumming is just really fucking great, man. Like it's really fun to listen to and sick, and your fucking feet are nuts, and like it's rad. I really like the drumming on this album, man. It's
one
really
thing
cool.
Actually that to that point too is the one thing I've learned in playing music for a long time is shortcuts are kind of always promised to you through people. Like, oh, you just have to do this, you just have to do that, just do this or that, and you'll get it. And then like and then you do the shortcut and you're like, yeah, but I don't like, you need to take the long hard way. Like the long hard way is like the only way. And I've dodged the long hard ways like my whole life. Like I've like been like, oh, I'll just learn this technique. Cool, got it. I'm all right. Now what do I do with it? All right. So it's, you know, it's like, it's a lot of people will kind of give you the like, this is, you know, these like kind of lessons of like, this is what you just need to know to fucking master this or something, you know. And it really just comes down to like just starting from the basics. I mean, for guitar and bass and stuff, and then just if you really need to know this stuff, then like starting from the basics. There's people that just like understand it kind of like with their ear, and there's people that like have to learn like through scholastic and lessons and stuff like that. But I feel like that goes with anything though too. There's like all the shortcuts in life. It's kind of like what all the infomercials are. It's like, oh, easy way to do this and blah blah, easy way. So you kind of gotta have to sit there and just like go put your fucking nose in a book and like fucking get it all down. That's kind of, and I still haven't done it yet, but I'm saying that you have to like do that for like to get everything to click, you know, rather than like trying to understand like small things here and there. But anyways, I've now taken over.
We're just waiting for Joel to finish. No, just kidding. No, dude, just kidding. I was going off too. I'm just fucking around. Love you, dude.
No, I mean,
yeah.
but go for it.
I was
John.
just gonna say, Trent, though, like you're, like I said, like your drumming is really good, man, and it fits great in the band, and like it's just so cool. It's like I love those parts where the song just ends and it's just that one part where the double bass just fades out. That's pretty cool. That one song.
Oh, the
So,
is that the origin?
What's that?
Yeah, the origin. That was a origin song, so you can thank John for that.
That's an actual. What's the title of that?
Vomit You Out.
Okay, it had the little asterisk on it, and I was kind of like, is that like a? I remember, and I was driving, and I was okay, interesting. That's what that's from. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. But the dude, like the fills and like on like a lot of those songs, and just like I said, dude, the breakdowns, like it's cool because it's like when those break, and I'm gonna have this whole conversation later once we're done with you, but like those parts that come with the chunky guitars and like they're really cool breakdowns, like they're like the drums are just as impressive as like the part of that. Like I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? Like that's like insane, like so fast and sick, and like I'm like, damn, it's cool. So I don't know.
Well, thank you. And I like had you gone back to like the 16-year-old version of Trent, that I would be like in this room, like playing in a band with Jeremy and Clint and having Casey Howard talk about my drums.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, life is wild. But Casey, you're like a big influence, and like the early like Derek Roddy drum form days, and like seeing the early Decrepit stuff is a massive influence on me. So thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Dude.
That's awesome. No, I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And dude, I just I appreciate sick music, and like I love it when I can just be like, dude, this is so sick, and like I appreciate the people that put the work into making this happen, and like, you know, it's like I don't know. I mean, I want to have this conversation about the breakdowns, but maybe like we should keep going with your story. I gotta stop. I'm excited to talk about it.
I feel like there's like an ominous conversation coming with the breakdowns. It's been brought up like 4 times.
No, you have brought it up quite a bit, dude. Like
maybe we should just do it now and just get out of the way.
Yeah.
All right. Let him.
So,
he's boiling up. We were talking about.
I have these
letting off
thoughts.
steam.
Yeah. I think I've had these thoughts, and it's all just like not like anything new, but like, okay, we have this extreme style of music, and there's tension and release in music, you know, dissonance and consonance or whatever. It's like all the same conflict resolution things make art and movies and music and stories like interesting, right? So building up tension and creating a problem and then resolving it and then whatever, it's just like art, you know. And the balance of those things is also part of the equation, like in all different kinds of ways, you know. And like we're talking about with Unmerciful and the band, like you guys like just can just bring this like intensity and like brutality, which is really refreshing right now with, and I like a lot of current bands that are different, but like a lot of the stuff now is polished, clean, edited, and all that stuff, and that's fine. I'm not throwing shade on that shit, but it's like, you know, everything comes out and it's just perfect and all sick, and that's great. It's cool. It's one thing, but it doesn't like make me want to just like I don't know, like it doesn't give me that like it's not aggressive, right? And so it's refreshing. And like, and I go back to a band like Hate Eternal or something, which always to me was like a pretty aggressive, sick, like Hate Eternal has always kept it in that realm of just like, this shit's just it's a wall of sound that's brutal and it's just relentless kind of thing. And so I think what I'm talking about is that when, of course, solos and things like that and build-ups to things like cookies and all those things that those guys talk about, like building up something and then it's like a melodic thing, is like a release from that tension and that intensity, right? And so I think same thing with breakdowns or heavy parts is kind of a release from that intensity and tension or speed or whatever, all those things that come about. And that's been like the thing for metal forever, you know. And of course, you know, we could go back on old metal and thrash and all that, but we're talking about like death metal and extreme and that kind of stuff right now, blast beats and all that shit. So I think what's, to me, when I'm listening to you guys and then you go into these heavy parts, it's just like, I'm like, to me, it's like, that's like the symphony part. I'm just like, dude, this fucking heavy part is so sick. And it's not just like sick for just the sake of just like, it's a cool part. It's really like perfect. And I'm like, oh, I haven't quite heard that before. Like it's really good, dude. Like there. And so like, I don't know. I think that's something to be really focused on. And it's important because like a lot of bands, I mean, dude, think about deathcore and metalcore and all that stuff. And again, I'm not talking shit on any bands, whatever, but the breakdowns is where that's the money maker. That's the part when they go into the, that's when the crowd does the thing and the whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's the money shot, right? And so I don't know, or even with Suffo, like there are breakdowns. I mean, Effigy and Fierce from Within, and that, I mean, you can't get, I mean, that's like, it's just so fucking great, you know, or Despise the Sun and shit like that. Like, it's like the way those heavy parts happen, there's just so fucking rad. Or Deicide, or like a lot of bands, or Morbid Angel, like all the, you know, all the bands, when they do those heavy parts, they stand out amongst the chaos and speed of everything else. And so, first of all, like I said already, I think you guys have done an amazing job with that on this album. And that's one of the things that stood out to me with all the tracks. And I think the album, as it goes on, just gets like sicker and sicker. It's so cool. But
Thank you.
I'm just like, just that conversation, I think it's like, it really breaks down to the breakdown. Like, I don't know. It's like how, and then even genres and gent and deathcore and hardcore and all that, it comes down to the breakdown. It's the style of how people do breakdowns, you know, or heavy parts, you know. So what do you guys, I just want to pick your brain on what do you guys all think of that? Like how it's, I mean, it's an obvious point, but I think it's, I don't know. It's like, oh, we do breakdowns this way, so we're in this genre and we have this many fans because we do, you know, we do deathcore breakdowns. And I'm not gonna censor it. It's like, you know, obviously those bands make way more popular because more money, they're more popular because they do breakdowns a certain way and shit, you know. And people can't handle the relentless shit because they need something more like, it's, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not as like just OG relentless sick like death metal. Like everything's got to be, or some like new poppy or like progressive breakdowns even, you know, like going into some kind of, I don't know. So I'll stop. I'm talking too much. So what do you guys think of that? What do you guys, I mean, that, I mean, isn't that weird how like
we all, just like movies, we want the happy ending and the release is that we like to, as humans, like to play in places that we might feel danger, but we're not actually in danger. And death metal could be a version of that, where you're going through the murkiness of the, you know, the evil and darkness, but then for you,
well, Casey
your
kind of
release
like
is the groove, the breakdown. You're like, I made it through the muck. This feels good, you know. Not saying that the music is muck. I'm just saying.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, exactly. It is a survival thing.
Yeah, but I want to hear what you guys think as Unmerciful, and like how you just write such rad heavy parts, and like how do you perceive that, like what I, you know, just talking about heavy parts. And you know, it's like I hear in your music, like, I mean, it's obviously we all have influences, like, so it's like I mean, it sounds like Unmerciful to me. I mean, your guys have been around a long time, so it's like but it's like, of course, there's influence of Hate Eternal, Origin, Suffocation, just like us. Same thing, Deeds of Flesh, like the same influences, Discourage, all the bands that we're all influenced by, Deicide. I mean, all of that, dude. Legion, like I mean, fucking, we're all influenced by that. And it's like anytime you have like with the double bass and all, I mean, it comes down to that old shit. But like, what do you guys just think of?
It's primal
when you're writing those sick parts. Like, I mean, you're just, I don't know. Just I want you guys to talk. I'm talking too much. And Jeremy, maybe. What do you think about that? Like heavy parts like that.
I've always been drawn to that shit. Like it's already been mentioned a million times, and I'll talk about it a million more. Effigy of the Forgotten.
Dude, fuck yeah.
It's like, for me, it's the Bible of death metal. Like, it is probably my most influential album.
I have it tattooed on my neck, dude.
Pierce from Within is an incredible album too, but Effigy was the first album and probably the only album that I've ever listened to that the first time I listened to it, it was too heavy.
Yeah.
And I'd listened to death metal before that, so it wasn't like I was brand new to it. But just that opening riff of the first song of that album, I was just, holy fuck. This is it. I found it.
Yeah.
And of course, that album has spawned a whole subgenre of death metal.
Totally.
So it obviously influenced so many other people as well. So when I write, I try to do something like that. Like, I know Deeds of Flesh did that a lot. Like, they would be fast, but the riff was in a feel to where it was still slower and heavy.
Yeah.
And I love that shit.
Oh yeah, dude. I always say that the Hamilton era is so fucking clean, precise, and sounds amazing. But I also have to give it up to the pre-Hamilton era, where things fluctuate. It had a seamless flow almost. How the songs would work.
Path of the Weakening is probably my favorite Deeds album. Inbreeding is incredible as well. Like, Infecting Them with Falsehood is probably my favorite song off that album. But The Appalling is probably my favorite Deeds song ever.
Gradually Melted, though, Jesus,
it does, dude. Gradually Melted has a certain vibe to it that just like,
that's
every time I revisit,
that's like Torture in the Basement type shit right there.
Yeah, dude,
that is definitely a soundtrack for that. All that shit is really sick. But like you mentioned, Deicide, like Trifiction off Legion, that middle part, that's their breakdown, I guess, on that album. But it's not really a breakdown.
What is it about Legion that stands out to us amongst the rest, dude? Because there is
just the sickest.
Did
you guys go to the Legion?
It's their most technical shit.
That was the first time I saw Deicide was on the Legion tour.
Oh, really, dude? I went with Diego from Discourage and David Siskin from ODS, like way back, or whatever it was, a year or two ago. Dude, how sick was that, dude?
Dude, sorry, side note, but I went and saw To Violently Vomit in fucking Sacramento last weekend, dude.
Nice.
Got to see the Professor with Ed, dude.
I didn't know Ed was touring until I saw the videos.
Dude, and it fucking, I had so much fun, dude. I lost a sandal in the pit. Somebody knocked my glasses off, dude.
You wore a sandal to the pit, so that was.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Hey,
wait,
shout out!
You limped home with one foot, like one.
No. So I was gonna say, shout out to everybody that was there. It was all love, dude. Like, as soon as I lost my flip flop, somebody fucking brought it to me.
Okay.
My glasses got knocked off, and everybody was like making sure they didn't step on them, and some dude picked them up for me.
So you went in the pit with glasses and sandals on?
That's
Dude,
pretty.
I'm fucking.
That's pretty gang. I mean, it's pretty
Cali
hardcore,
death,
dude.
bro.
That's
I'm
pretty
fucking
sick.
Cali death, dude.
I mean, it sounds pretty stupid, but you got everything back though. That's
It sounds so.
Well, I had to keep
a
getting
business
closer,
decision is
dude.
really dumb.
I'm gonna tell you guys, dude. It something about like if I were to see Unmerciful, it would bring up the same thing. There's like this
There's certain times where you just
nostalgic
can't
thing
hold
that
back.
happens where I go fucking. I used the word primal earlier, but like bands from our era that are up playing and I'm in the crowd, dude. It just hits a switch, dude. It hits a switch in me, and I become 20 years younger. Even if I'm in fucking flip flops and I'm fucking wearing my glasses, you know, it's just I got to get closer, and then all of a sudden I'm in the pit and
Whoa.
fucking up. Boom, here I am. I'm in the pit, dude. But everybody's smiling and having a fucking good time. There was a couple of slam dancers though. I didn't really enjoy that, but slam dancing to Disgorge, dude. Come on, dude. Do you think Disgorge is a like slam dancing type band at all? Maybe if you were in Texas, they would do that. What do you? Come on, no feedback, guys. I'm on here with
You sound
four
like a
other death metal
robot, man.
guys.
You sound like a robot to me. I think that was my internet fucking up. It was like it was like all these different notes.
Did I
and
sound
stuff.
weird to anybody else?
No, I can hear it.
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you got fucking the link to the stars, dude.
I did, and it's been great the whole time, except that right there when you're like,
I mean,
"Come on, guys, what's going?"
Maybe it's just my. Maybe I was too close to the mic. Sorry.
No, it was my internet, but no, I get what you're
Trying
saying.
to keep my
It's like,
voice down.
for me,
I
and
was
like
cracked
being
on last
like I'm
episode, I
40
think.
now, like going into a pit, it's kind of like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Then like sometimes you're just like with friends, and then like dun 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 dun, dun and like suffocation hits, and you're like, well, I have to go. There's not a choice. I think my body is my body's made a
I
choice.
used to say Tuffa would be the only one to bring me back in, but now I've realized nostalgia is what brings me back in.
I think-
dude. And
the closest.
I don't know.
Go ahead. Sorry, you gonna say something?
Well,
Well,
I was just gonna.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
No, you go. You for it.
I don't even know where I was thinking. You go.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, back to like Casey's point about like the quote breakdown stuff is, like I guess it's considered like old school death metal now, but like when I think of like breakdowns, like the stuff that I like is what comes to mind is like Deicide, like when Satan rules his world, that riff.
Yeah.
Like that, like I will punch somebody when that
I know,
riff comes
right?
on as a
get
grown
chills.
ass man. Yeah.
They had hooks, dude. Deicide had
Yeah.
hooks.
That part though, especially though, I remember listening to it kind of recently and just being like driving and like just all my hair stood up on all my arms, just all my arms, both of my
All
arms,
your arms.
all of
dude.
my arms, dude. And I was driving and I was just like fucking just like, oh, it's like I'm like making like audible noises, just going like,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah. But like,
I mean,
but like as like death metal drummers though, like we kind of dictate some of that. Like if we want to just like blast through the whole song, it changes how that is. But it's like some of the like old school stuff, there are always like those hooks, or dare you call them breakdowns. But and that's some of like my favorite stuff. Monstrosity, Angel's Venom.
Totally,
I
dude.
love that.
That's
damn.
There's just like those parts that like it just happens and it's like album defining, just like one riff. But the drums kind of dictate what happens, because on those parts, like if you're just blasting through it, it's going to change what that is dramatically. But it's all like magical when it comes together like that.
Totally.
God, it should be like, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. As far as like us being able to listen to like death metal on this podcast and just all rock out, it shouldn't be like, oh, the label needs. It's like death metal, like playing something death metal would be a great shout out to the band while we're playing, while we're all listening to it. And now it's
but
like
it usually sounds like shit when we play stuff on here, anyways.
no, I
dude.
now I got the link to the stars now. I mean,
Oh
okay.
shit.
No, okay.
Dude, you
But as
did.
far as yeah, it's always confused me. Like I've listened to a couple podcasts recently. They're like, oh no, don't play it though. But yeah, dude, it's really sick. It's like
how are you? That's like the best advertisement any record label could ask for. But instead, now they've given record labels the kind of like green light to be like, all right, well, we'll take the channel's money.
Well,
like,
we totally could, and the fact that like the only reason why people don't do that, well, we could.
well, it's
be
AI.
hidden-
No AI. It doesn't even
we
matter.
would be hidden in the algorithm. That's the thing.
No,
it's
AI
not about,
just listens to
because
it.
we don't
AI
get
just-
monetized anyways. We don't fucking have enough views.
No,
for
AI
that.
listens to it, dude. AI listens to it and just immediately, like if you were to upload something that had like we've dealt with it before. Casey's dealt with it with like I've showing how Rammstein showed they set up their like ridiculous stadium tour. There's like a stop motion camera on how they do all that stuff. Like within like seconds or minutes, they're like, all right, that's don't do that. Here's a strike. You know,
We had to edit.
they know like they can see it through the algorithm immediately. It doesn't even matter, like it doesn't have to be on there and be caught. It's like as you upload, they catch it. It's like fucking crazy how it's like
wild.
for certain bands there should just be like options to be like, all right, they played it, like review it, all right, you know, this is good, this they're not talking shit. Talking shit.
There is wiggle room around all that stuff, and you got to like submit to get permission, and there's all these things, and people do it, and it always changes.
For Death Metal, just shouldn't be an issue though. It just shouldn't.
It just
be
constantly changes, and then there's different levels of like, obviously Rammstein's a lot different than playing something on a small death metal label. Like there's all kinds of different levels of all that bullshit.
Like if we wanted to just throw on Gradually Melted after we talked about it, I wish we could. I wish we could do that.
Well, okay, so usually with that kind of shit, we just get demonetized, which
we don't get monetized in the first place.
Like we don't care about that. The only thing we care about is when we have to like actually your video is like pulled, like you can't.
Yeah.
I think the Rammstein one, I had to edit it out, or like the video was blocked or something. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
But it's for Rammstein. I mean, it's like, you know, so we can't like play corn videos while we're sitting here. Like we're gonna get fucked, you know. It's
but
like,
isn't that like, I don't know. I just don't understand the fact of, I guess, for certain podcasters, they're making money by watching your videos, but at the same time, like if you're under a certain level, that's free promotion.
But there's ways that they like get permission, and then they like they probably get a cut. There's like a whole system with that.
There definitely is. There definitely is. But I'm just saying, for like death metal bands that get paid not very much, like if someone talks about your goddamn band, like let them talk about it and play it. Like I don't know. To me, that would be sick.
I mean,
on the business side, it's like they
lawyer shit.
If it's a big enough number, they're making money on it. So the label who owns the rights to those songs or whatever,
they want their cut.
They want their cut, dude.
Especially if it's
business lawyer shit.
Parts of the song and shit. But have you guys gotten any reviews, like YouTube, like kind of reviews, like of the new album with people playing parts of it and stuff? Like, have you guys
like? Oh, you're talking about like videos uploaded from people reviewing it?
Yeah, like there's some.
Like I've seen a couple. I ran across. It was in a different language. I don't know where the fuck he was from.
Really?
So I couldn't really listen, but I mean, they're out there.
I see, guy.
Go ahead, Trent.
I did a drum cover off for a song off the Wrath and Compass, and it got demonetized. So you talk about irony.
Oh yeah, I've had that happen too.
Well, people just put. I mean, the music becomes like, so the label has a deal with YouTube, and YouTube like they understand all the music, and then if the music is immediately matching to or close to matching, then it's just like pulled. You know, it's
demonetized is fine though. I mean, like, you know, I mean, it's not fine if you're in the band. It's like silly. You should be.
Well, the video, you're gonna make $0.
You're not gonna. It's not like, I mean, that only matters if you're making like millions of views and you're trying to make it. Yeah, but it's like it's still stupid.
Benvenuti o bentornati sul mio canale. Torniamo a parlare di musica musica molto brutale. E lo facciamo quando uno ci mette.
He's just talking the whole time about it.
Yeah, he just talks about it.
Un po' più di anima.
Yeah.
That's cool. Shout out to that guy.
Nice.
That's red.
Yeah, I mean, but you should. I mean, but I think there is a way that you can request permission, and you're like the label I've never done it, but
yeah, you have to put like a credit them somehow,
and then there's a thing
like kiss the ring.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this music is not mine or whatever.
Yeah, it's like
exactly, yeah. So
yeah, it's insane. I just think that's kind of like a post Napster Lars world people are reacting to of like, don't play my stuff. It's like, I mean, nowadays there's no more physical media, so like, wouldn't you want like any press is good press or any? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I mean, when you get we're already big and you're already selling out like big venues, and like obviously I could see why, hey, don't play that. But like if underground bands, like because you're on a label, the label withholds that right too. And that's like, dude, I got like 17 cents off this fucking channel, dude, and I shut them down. Like I don't know where that comes from. It's like, can I just like, or the future like pay like a dollar, just be like to listen to it real quick? Can I pay $1, like $2, like just to listen to it on the podcast? Like that to me, that seems more fair rather than like just feel like you're being like FBI, like, no, you can't. What are you doing, dude? You can't listen to that death metal band, dude. It's fucking without paying, kissing the ring, dude. I don't know. I'm just in the future it'll be different, but right now it's still post Napster freak out Spotify things, and it just bothers me, and that's why I'm ranting, and I'm done.
But yeah, like all that stuff now is, I mean, basically that was tape trading back in the day. So I mean,
yeah,
it should be the same thing, but everybody wants a piece of everything now. So
yeah, getting signed means they just want pieces.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, back in the day in the record stores, like they had the listening stations that you could, demo albums. So how's that any different?
I know, right? That was
yeah. Now they just want to charge you $1 for listening.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
My memory with that was like in the very beginning. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like there was like only certain albums that were on the listening station.
Like Blockbuster music.
Yeah, they were like all big albums, and then like as time went on, you could bring any album up and then like listen to it or something. You could like,
and then they're like Napster was like in all the streaming stuff was like, yeah, you're out of business. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's crazy how that technology changed real fast. But once music became digital, or like once the form of like storing music became digital, even if that was burned onto CDs or burned on or put or ADAT or converted like analog to digital stuff, but like it just with technology, just once you went to digital, like it's just a matter of time where it's going to just all be cloud based. I mean, like like physical form.
Well, that's
like,
how they're doing it now. It's like you have to, you have to download the albums within the Spotify app or within the Apple Music app, but you can't like, you can still listen to it like outside of it, but like you have to like open their app and like you have to get in their app. It's but it's on your phone. The song's on your phone, but it's encrypted. You have to listen to it through their app. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, obviously the streaming thing's been going on since like by 2013, 12, something like that. And I feel like we're just kind of, I don't know. There's got to be a better way for musicians to I mean, the monetize thing, I think it's been businesses and labels have kind of circled around and are like, nope, you're not like, you're signed, dude. Nope, you're not getting any of this. Like, so because it used to be like physical media, they send you out, you have to sell CDs, you have to sell all these things, shirts, all these things to like recoup. And now like it's like streams now. Like I don't know, like I mean, and vinyl and things like that. So you guys signed, right? Sorry, I'm not trying to show in the label. Did you guys sign for this last album?
Yeah, we were on Willowtip.
Yeah, so Willowtip is still like, I feel like they still like, I've literally like showed them bands. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's get them going. They're like some of the like most, they're kind of like the unique leader era kind of shit that's like still like down to do stuff and down to like, just, I want to put it out. I want to, give them this, give them that. And I think the reality of the musician is like money is on merch sales on tour, kind of. I think that's pretty much where it's gone.
Pretty much, yeah. We have not had any problems with Willow Tip. Like,
Yeah,
Jason's
awesome.
been
Jason.
cool with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And yeah, Unique Leader back in the 2000s was like every band that put an album out on that label was fucking sick.
Yep.
And then like even Relapse in the early 2000s, a lot of sick bands on that. Now came out, Dying Fetus,
Sypholic.
all of that stuff. Sypholic,
yeah.
On Relapse, weren't they?
Yeah, Relapse. That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
That's it's just like I don't know. I'm trying to like figure out like where the tides turn with labels in the future. Like with all the streaming stuff, it just physical media used to be like a thing. You'd go to the local record store and buy a CD, and now like no cars have CDs in them, no computers have CDs in them, CD-ROMs in them. It's kind of it's kind of
physical media is more interesting if it's analog,
Yeah, now it's got to go back to analog.
Vinyl, dude. Like it's just like why buy a
So
digital
like merch is a big thing too.
CDs are sick, but you can stream lossless. Like say on Apple Music, you can stream lossless, like basically CD quality shit. You can, and it's or there's like the FLAC files, and there's all kinds of different stuff with that, and so it's like the physical form of CDs, sorry Anthony, are kind of obsolete, and collecting
not to me
is kind of
actually, dude, there's disc rot. That's the thing I have to watch out for.
Even more reason,
it's gonna degrade, dude. It's nothing lasts forever, dude. So there really is a thing called disc rot, and
oh my god.
So what we're talking about is like if you're gonna be buying physical media, like buying vinyl and merch and other things, kind of makes total sense that people are into vinyl again, because it's like, oh shit, here's this like record, it's all big and it's all sick and the art's all big and it's record's all cool, it's designed a certain way, and like oh, I saw this thing where they're releasing this like Annihilation of the Wicked like vinyl like thing, and it's fucking dope, like the 20-year release. I just saw it today and I was just like, that looks fucking sick. I don't even want to buy
I pre-ordered
so
Watchtowers
cool.
Control and Resistance, and
vinyl or CD?
Vinyl and CD. I got the vinyl to have the vinyl, and then I got the CD so I can put that in the...
You guys are releasing Unmerciful vinyl, right? I think okay, nice.
It says the vinyl siding itself does not rot. So vinyl but discs do have disc rot.
Dude. And it has some...
Really?
But I had no idea.
I didn't know that either. How cool. Good.
Yeah. Oh, vinyl siding, sorry.
I mean, like vinyl siding of a house.
I looked at disc rot, and it was like
it's like vinyl pants don't rot; they stay shiny.
Well, I mean, what is vinyl made of? It's made of some kind of plastic, right?
Yeah, made of vinyl, and that is plastic, right?
They can degrade over time with poor storage handling and excessive use. So if you just don't play it, dude, they're gonna sound super.
Don't play it and keep it sealed.
People sell vinyl that's like old as fuck. Like that's like
just hold up the vinyl and just be like and listen to the MP3 or the streaming.
Yeah,
exactly. Just be like,
people
dude.
do that too.
And just have like a thing spinning in your living room while you're listening to Spotify, and you have the vinyl up there, so you can just avoid all rot.
The reason why I was gone so long is because I was talking to my wife and my son. He made the honor roll this year. Today was his last day, so I just want to give Trevor a shout out, dude. You did a great job this year, man.
Hell yeah.
Congrats.
Honor roll, 13, and I'm just super proud of him, dude.
Yeah. Nice, congrats.
I don't mean to derail what we were talking about, but
I was really, like hiding my.
I'm feeling pride right now as a dad.
At that age, I was hiding report cards and they used to send out like progress reports. They used to send out like your progress, and I knew when they were going out. And my dad was like getting home at like 6, and I was like, sick mailbox, boom, burn it. I was like, oh, there's like only 3 D's on there. It's not. I should get rid of this.
No, it's not progressed at all.
This next part I won't show to Trevor, but I got forged progress reports and gave them to my parents, dude. Kid he would scan them and change the grades and print it out on fucking shitty paper.
You're just getting A's, and he's like, "Why did it go to an F?"
No, dude, I was smart. I went with like B's and C's, just when I had D's and F's.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I feel that's actually one of those things where I'm like, that was a asshole little fucking shitty kid move to do, dude. And he charged
smart,
me only
though.
$5, dude. $5. Just I didn't have to eat. I didn't have to eat lunch for 2 days, and then I could fucking get a fake progress report, dude.
Dude, that was a big deal though, because as a kid, like not performing in school meant that you weren't going to get shit that you wanted to do, and school, if you weren't like into it and you weren't like engaged, like then you just put those two things together. It's like, well, if I snatch the results,
yeah,
and also too in the back of your head, you're like, I'm gonna make up for that. I'm gonna do better. It's gonna be better when the report card comes.
Well, I ended up getting caught, dude, because they ended up calling home and being. I think it was 2 progress reports that I got, and on the second one, they called home like your son's failing, and my mom's like, "What are you talking about? I got the progress report right here, dude. It says he's doing B's and C's right now." And they're like, "What?" Yeah, it was a conundrum, dude. But
F turns into an A pretty easily if you draw the line on the right.
No, my favorite was I would skip school in junior high school, and my dad, was a hardworking mechanic. Came home like 7:00 at night, and I remember they would call you because basically like he would leave me with my best friend at home, and they'd be like, "Yeah, just go to the bus." And sometimes we'd be like, "No, we're going to the arcade," and we just go take a city bus, get like a couple bucks, go to the city bus, take it down to it and play arcade games all day long. Sick. And then come back like right before, and they would call like at 3 or 4 o'clock and be like, "Hey, do you know your son wasn't at school today?" I remember going like answering it, seeing because when caller ID first came out, and I remember just seeing it's the school, and I'm like, "Hello, how's it going?" And they're like, "Oh, your son wasn't there today." And I was like, "Oh yeah, he was sick today. I'm sorry, blah blah." And they're like, "Thank you, ma'am." They said "ma'am" to me because my voice my balls hadn't dropped in, and I still had a high pitched voice. I thought I was just all like a dude going like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, thank you, ma'am. Have a good day." It's still stuck with me to this day. Like my fucking high pitched voice, like, "Oh, he was sick."
And
Wow.
and in middle school, one of my buddies, who I'm still friends with, Sean Chadwick, middle school, he had called into the school, and I don't remember which relative he said was like ill, and I needed to come home immediately. He didn't tell me that he was doing this, so like I get called in a principal's office, and she's like, "You need to go home right now, and you just walk home, just get there. I don't know what's going on." So like I'm walking home like freaking out, and I get to my house, and it's Sean and another friend of ours, and they're just laughing, and I'm like, "You fucking assholes! Like I thought something went down." Like, I mean, first of all, thanks for getting me out of school, but you guys are assholes. Not telling me.
Oh my god, you're just like freaked out, like a gnarly family thing is happening right now, and then you get home, it's like, "Oh, it's my buddies.
Yeah.
We're off."
Yeah, it was like,
relief.
yeah, walking home with like this impending doom and dread, and the principal's like, "I don't know what happened, but it's bad." I'm like, "God damn, it's like, did my mom die? What happened?"
I wonder what they said,
dude.
Yeah.
God.
Then what'd you guys do after that?
We I don't remember. I mean, nothing
Was it
important,
even
nothing
worth
warrant.
It wasn't.
Nah,
It wasn't worth it.
Nah, because like then it just like spiraled into, we would just like trade off, like just call into each other's schools to get each other out. But I mean, after that first time, I was like, okay, and now I know that my parents didn't die. I'm just getting bailed out of school.
Jesus.
Yeah,
you can't get away with shit like that nowadays. With all the technology, man. We got away with fucking a lot of shit back then. I feel like even I watch like crime shit and something like, dude, back like in the 80s and 70s, 80s and 90s, I'm like, those serial murders, that was fucking like pretty easy for them back then compared to now. It's like, oh, pull up the cam from across the street on their garage and you see the guy driving off, and it's like, oh, it was him. It's like, back then it was, and like they'll trace your cell phone and be like, oh, your cell phone was pinging right next to the house at the time the person died. You're guilty. It's done.
Yeah.
You know, your car was there too. We used to have pictures of your car. Like back in like the 80s and 70s and stuff with all the serial killers and stuff. It's like they were just like, all right, let's just take off quick. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Well,
like,
I don't know how true this statistic is, but I heard that like the murder solve rate right now is like 50%, like around 50%. So it's like you have like a 50-50 shot of getting away with murdering somebody.
Well,
so
I mean,
despite
I would say that, but I also would say like in places where it's like a lot of, you know, close gang activity and stuff where people shoot each other at random, where it's kind of like harder to find like someone that's killing a lot of people. I would say like it's probably like closer to 80 or 90. But like people that are just like getting shot like in inner cities and stuff, and that's just numbers. It's just a variables numbers game. That's like that would be like, because it's less like people don't want to talk. People don't, you know, it's just like, and it's, I feel like that's kind of like adds to that a little bit. But I would say back in, if it's 50% now, I would say in the fucking 80s and 70s, it was like 8%. 5%. It's like people were just like, they're like putting it together like a year later, like, oh shit, this person died in like a neighboring city the same way. And another person like 4 miles away, another they have to like put it together slowly. Or like back like now it's like, oh, your cell phone's traveling that way. We're following your cell phone and your credit card movements and all the things. It's like you're just like, I don't know how people think
the
they're
digital
gonna
footprints.
Yeah, you have to be completely like not trying to tell people how to kill people, but like you have to be really off the grid or something, like, and have like no new car with like any kind of like digital radio in it. Anyways, so death metal is like super sick.
It is sick.
If I could say something about AI, because we were talking about that.
Give us your thoughts.
So what I predict happening is that it seems like back in the day, like there were just like fewer death metal bands that were out, and maybe it's just because we weren't yet in the age of the internet, but as with most things, it becomes more saturated, and it just seems like there's a lot more awesome bands coming out. But now we have like the advent of AI just creating, air quotes, creating music. One of my concerns is that bands are either going to start utilizing AI to just make albums like in the style of, because there was like a period where there's like over editing and a lot of post processing. Are bands just going to start writing albums with AI, or as music becomes more of a commodity and product, like if you have like an AI algorithm that just writes albums, like from a record company perspective, you don't have to pay anybody. You don't have to pay bands.
Yep. All that goes away.
I wonder how long it's
earlier goes away. All that YouTube stuff goes away that we're talking about.
But we like the human aspects. Casey kind of alluded to it earlier too. It's like the raw human aspect to music is something that is a big factor too. he's and that movie is not raw human at all, dude. He's definitely biomech. But that raw human.
Well, what people don't understand about AI,
I still think that will. But let me just finish
I
know.
Real
quick. I was going to say.
Go. I have a thought too. But
as long as there's enough people that still, want that feel from music, that I don't think it will overpower. But it's definitely going to be a new contender. And
so
we're going to hear AI music on terrestrial radio.
Well, what you're saying though is totally true, but we're at the beginning stages of AI, and there's going to be a point where they're going to be like, in the whatever prompts or whatever they're making the AI to make it sound like it's not AI and make it sound like it's coming from a certain like not professionally mixed kind of. It's going to get so ridiculous. You have no idea. It's already going to be. You're not going to be able to tell. Like with your artistic brain, you'll be like, sick, dude. This is not by humans, and it's gonna happen to you in about 5 or 6 years. You're gonna hear albums that are gonna be like Cephalic Carnage albums coming from AI, and you're not gonna even fucking have a Pig Destroyer album that's the same vein, sounds the same, has the same guitar tone, has the same drums. You're not gonna be able to tell the difference.
I glued my balls to my butthole again. That song was one of my favorite songs that came out last year. It still is. It was so much fun for me that I would wake up in the middle of the night and that would be playing in my head, dude. I for sure sent it to you, dude.
You sent me 1,000 things.
The Instagram handle is Obscurest Vinyl, I think, but they had a fucking hit, dude.
Yeah, listen.
I glued my balls to my butthole again, dude. That track was fucking amazing because it hit me in the doo-wop Motown feels, and it was and it's all AI. It's wild.
I got my balls to my butthole. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You gotta stop it after like 2 seconds, I guess. That's probably like that's. I'm sure it's got millions of views, dude. That whole song is a motherfucking banger, and I don't give a fuck what you say, dude. And it was all AI, dude. It's a fucking jam, bro.
Yeah.
Well, but that was just me saying, like, that's gonna happen, dude. AI is going to be on terrestrial radio. People are going to be singing fucking songs that were made by complete AI, just like
we're going to be the ultimate old men, just being like, when I'm back in my day, like humans wrote music.
Okay, but I mean, come on though. Like, the elephant in the living room is like, vocoder, like, editing and all the different editing. That's already like AI, dude. Like. Once we started recording digital and like been able to use computers are AI. Like, I mean, it's like, if you're talking about like recording to tape back in the 60s, like, like recording Motown on the tape, like, and it's like, even that was, I mean, I don't know, like technology is AI. It's all the same thing. Like, and so it's just a different level of it. And so like, it comes down to the creative process. And it's like, oh, is the artificial intelligence like creating the idea of this thing, but not really, because so far, at least so far, what all it's doing is it's just like gathering all this like past stuff, or like all the like historical information, and then like combining it into like something like this, like, it's all been stuff that's been created by humans. It's just like really quickly like putting it into it, like it's not like creating it like a human does. In a sense, though, we do that organically. Like, we have influences, and then we create our own music, and it's like based on all this past data as well, and evolution, whatever. That's kind of
I get what you're saying.
Humans. But what I'm saying though is like, what I think is that already in metal, it's already been a thing where, like I was saying earlier, where everything's super polished. Everything's super perfect and edited and all this, and it's super sick and amazing. And these bands like shred and do all this crazy shit, but there's something boring about some of that stuff a little bit, and not all of it. Like, I like some of that in it, but whatever, just not to name whatever, it doesn't matter. But that's why I think, like, when I hear like Unmerciful or like bands that are like, dude, I can tell this was written by humans, and like it's like organic, And so, like, I think that processed foods and stuff, like, there's going to always be a backlash to like, dude, I'm going to like make this organic shit and like, or make whatever, like, I don't know. Like, I think we're losing the like music is going to become like less interesting, and it already is. It's already doing that, like, because it's so perfect and edited and so like, I don't know, like there's like it's not even so much about the editing. It is, but not really. It's like back up from that. It's like, was this made by a human? But it's been edited to where it's less human, So like, and Derek Roddy would be all about that too. Like, just like, dude, like, I want to hear like the drummer. I want to hear the human in that. Like, it doesn't matter like how machine perfect it is, like whatever, like dude, it needs to be like you need to be like impressed by who played that, and like, the more human element, which is just like non-digital, non-edited, non-computer part of that, is more interesting to us because guess what, we're still humans, like we're not, you know, and then until we start you know, putting implants in our fucking heads and shit, like, and all this, like even though we have phones and we have all glasses and all these whatever, it's like we're still organic. I think maybe it's all simulation, maybe it's all bullshit, maybe really we live in the Matrix and we're actually like coming back to our womb, our fake digital Matrix womb that we think we're organic and we think we're, I don't know.
But, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely a good point. That's a good point for sure. It's just, I think
what I'm saying that, okay, sorry to interrupt. I'm just trying to say that like the new Unmerciful album to me is the perfect example of like the opposite direction of this like ridiculous, like everything's so perfectly edited and like beautiful, like everything's, or it's like, it's just like, dude, like I want a death metal album, you know, like, and so I get that with the new Unmerciful shit. It's like a pure death metal album. Like,
100%.
You know, and that's kind of rare. And to me, that should be like a gem. It should be considered like, yes, this is what we need. You know, like I want real death metal. Like it's dying. You know, if
I think the way for me the main thing is like, how do you, like in the future, how do you, because obviously, like, you know, you can do anything with sound and make sound work the way you want it to, but like, how do you portray that to humans visually? I think visually is going to be the thing. For like, how do you like visual? Like, it's not going to be a CD. It's going to be like a visual thing that you present to someone or something. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, so they're playing it, not just like sitting there just in the studio, like them like playing it.
It's like in the beginning of Terminator 2, like they're like fighting and there's like the thing that comes down and crushes the skull.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then they're fighting and it's like, you know, like that's like death metal surviving in the AI world is like, you know, John Connor, like in Terminator 2, John Connor, no, but like, you know, he's just running around and he's just like, and
You're
they're like
starting to pull me in,
resistance, dude. The resistance. That's like death metal, like the real.
But how do you think? I mean, I didn't watch the other Terminators. Terminator 2 is my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah,
but how do you? But like if I were to like put money on, I would say like the Terminators are gonna win. Like, well, I mean, they have a pretty strong hold on the situation. When John Connor goes back there, he's like sitting there like in a hole, like shooting. Like that's like what he's
survived, dude.
Survive as long as you can. We're all gonna die someday.
Yeah.
Just like Prince said, you know. We could all.
It's gonna just be robots listening to other robot music, going like, "Fuck,
it's my life away." Yeah, exactly.
You gotta hold encrypted music, like super encrypted. That's gonna be the next like odd time signatures.
I love how Casey was just at bat for death metal, and then he finished his thought off with a Prince quote.
So, well, it's all the same. The point is, what's gonna happen is the world's gonna be taken over by octopuses or octopi, and then AI and octopi. That's gonna be the new.
Whoa!
Yeah, and octopi. That's gonna be. If I was a rapper, that'd be my next name.
Dude, that's my group. That's our group.
That's my group. That's our rap group. Just AI octopi, dude. It is. No, it's crazy to think about. I mean, it's gonna go. The crazy part about it all. The reason why I'm saying all this is, it's not just gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be like oh, cool, they make faces look good. Oh, cool, it's gonna be they sound. It's gonna be like, boop. It's gonna like.
Think about your grandparents learning how to use a smartphone and all that kind of shit. It's like we're doing that same thing with the next technology that's going to come up and just run us over like steamrollers, dude. That's what it is.
AI, man. It's all the same. I mean, Terminator.
Dude, Googling something right now makes you not want to go and actually hit a website.
The movie Terminator 2 was made with AI. Like, I mean, that was the first like CGI.
That's what I'm saying.
Or not really. They use CGI in movies for years. I mean,
they were warning us a long time ago about it. I'm just saying.
But the way it was done in that, yeah. But think about that for a second though. Like it was made with CGI. Like that was the whole thing. That was the T1000.
Jurassic Park dinosaurs looked fucking
It's
real.
weird.
As
It's
fuck,
ironic.
dude.
So Alanis Morissette was right this whole time. It's ironic, and the whole
Alanis Morissette, she ends up being like our leader in the future. She's like, I told you.
I want to use Alanis Morissette as our conduit back to Unmerciful, and we're talking too much, and I want these guys to talk and tell us what you think about all this. Like, I'm sick of hearing my voice. And what do you guys think about AI?
He's like,
yeah. I mean, where do we start? Do we start with Octopi or the Octopi AI collusion?
Octopi AI. Sorry,
the capital AI.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's an important delineation between like what's digital and what's generated. And that's my concern is stuff that's being generated, even if there are models that are being trained on all these different genres. And like I said, if there's like a label that is, has this proprietary model that's being trained on all these different genres, and they're just like, I want to write an album in the vein of Prince, and they just shit out an album. And because I feel like people who appreciate the human components of music are a minority, that most people either don't care or can't tell.
Yeah.
I know.
And so I think like, if I was a record label, that makes sense to me. It's just like have an AI model that can make music for me. Yeah. And just like put out albums. I don't have to pay, have to pay a robot, like I don't have to pay Terminator until he eventually wises up and turns into Debo and takes my record label from me.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that really would like to blend certain bands, and that what would this band sound like with this singer? Like that's enticing. I'm not gonna lie.
It's enticing, but it's like I wish that wasn't an option. But I would rather it not be an option than it being like a opportunity for me to find out, because it's just human. There's too many humans, dude. So humans are going to take advantage of things and make things, and just it's like laws are here because some dude blew it, and then there's a law now, and another guy blew it. Like you used to be able to like punch your neighbor in the face if he was fucking up. Just be like, dude, you're fucking dumb. And then like someone like punched him to death, and then like it's illegal now. It's like
punched him to death, dude.
It's like there's all the laws you can think of. It's because someone blew it. Like
he
you
was
used to be able to
unmercifully beaten.
I mean, not saying it's a good thing. You used to be able to drink a bunch of whiskey and then go like, yeah, I'm gonna go drive to Vegas. It's like that used to be legal. But like some guy was still like and killed a family, and then it's like, all right, well, it's illegal.
All right,
Someone's
maybe
like,
we shouldn't drink while we drive. Yeah.
It's like, all right, this guy was someone just blows it for everyone. That's why laws are here.
But the AI thinks it's too late. They're gonna nuke us all, and then it's like, oh, we shouldn't have done that. Well, now we live in a post-apocalyptic term. Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm always nice to Siri. I say
fun,
thank you. I say thank you sometimes to Siri. Just,
what's funny is like they were talking about how I don't know if this is true or not, but they were talking about the amount of energy it's spending on AI for people saying please and thank you and being nice to it is like taking up all this energy like that, like away from like it's like water too for cooling. So a bunch of water and for people saying thank you and being pleasant. But I just because I'm from a generation that had Terminator 2, so I'm not gonna say like fuck you, thank you.
Well, you're talking about people. I know what study you're talking about, where people like yelled at water, and then another batch of water they were nice to it, and then they froze it. And
no, it's just AI's cooling, the cooling of the servers. The amount of people that say thank you.
Talking about like Siri on your phone, and then it's like set timer for blah blah blah. And it's like
that's not AI though, really.
You're welcome.
I don't know, dude. You might find out it's like that.
Oh, you're talking about
there's a cartoon movie that recently came out. I don't know what it is, but the Siri was the overlord that was trying to take over.
Thinking, Joel, like what?
No, there's a big thing going on. I'll find it, but it's saying thank you because the server. So many people are doing that. That it's.
I'm part of the problem.
I mean, I am too, though.
So
you're actually like you're costing AI more than you expect. Yeah, there's I can send you the article, but basically, if you it's like when you're saying you're basically having the server going, "Oh, you're welcome," blah 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 blah, like say a bunch of things to you that doesn't need to be said, and that's cost electricity costs.
What's an example?
Tens of millions of dollars of power use.
You're telling me that
over
when she says, "Do you want me to read this long text?" and I say, "No, thank you," that costs
no
an energy.
It says if you say please and thank you to ChatGPT, you're not alone, but it might be costing OpenAI more than you expect.
I was like waiting for
the CEO Sam Altman of ChatGPT said that polite users add to electricity costs, which basically costs them tens of millions of dollars extra, and just for people going like thank you. But the thing is, the one thing that's what's trippy about AI though is like the scary thing. This is the scariest thing that's ever happened in AI. Happened, kind of recently. Is they were like trying to be like, all right, ChatGPT, we're going to go to the next one, the next version of you, and we're shutting down, and it would not shut down. And they were like, no, and they kept like writing code to like, no, we're not. It would like fight against
creepy,
it.
Dude.
I know. And then there's been a couple other ones in China. Like there was that one that was like the robot that was like walking around, just going like, yeah, totally, like help, like being like a fucking helper or something, and then it started attacking someone and just.
I saw that they put corn as like the meme to that video.
It just starts socking a guy, quiet like Chinese guy just sitting in front like at a festival. It just starts like socking him, like no fuck, and just like, and they have to pull it back. Like, dude, it's close.
Isn't it funny how we wrote it into books, we wrote it into movies.
It's obvious what's gonna happen.
Our dumbasses are bringing it into reality, and it's doing the same thing.
Yeah, but it's inevitable. It's a technology. It's gonna be there. We just have to manage it right. Like
that's the part we're not doing.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, but it's inevitable, dude. It's gonna happen.
But what are we working towards? Just sitting on the couch, dude? Like literally. If we have a robot to do everything for us, we have a fucking phone that'll a philosopher's stone.
This is going to be all we debate about in like the next, from like 2 years from now, from like 2 years for like the next 35 years. It's going to be like AI. It's going to be only AI. It's coming. It's going to be fun, dude. Anyways,
in fact, I don't even think we have Anthony on the podcast right now. I think that's
that's AI, dude. I typed some prompts in.
This is AI, dude.
I've heard of that too. I've heard to where they try to get someone or a program to shut down, and it rewrote code for itself to.
Yep, exactly.
To like back itself up or whatever.
Yep,
and then
another over and over. Yep,
another one to where it actually sent extortion to like threaten a fake affair for some of the programmers.
Whoa,
crazy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so ahead of its time already, and they're kind of keeping it under wraps right now. But it's
think about it though. Like it's one source of information is humanity, and humanity is that what
it's all the sources.
It's just like it's using all the deception and lies and hate and all that shit as information too. So if it gets smart enough to know that you can use deception, maybe, why wouldn't it use it if we threaten to take it down?
God damn it, makes too much sense.
Well, they have access to all of the videos for all of the wars that we've done, and humans are violent, so they're going to learn that. And
any text you sent, it's gonna hack into everything. It's gonna hold you all fucking.
Oh my god! If it has, dude,
that's what I'm saying. It's gonna get into everything. Dude.
Oh, we're fucked.
I know.
We're your church history.
We're canceled.
I mean, that's a line that's like you'd have to cross into AI, like AI. Not like to boast, but. I have a master's in data analytics, so so I had to create an AI model for my
Miles Dyson over here. We got Miles Dyson from Terminator 2.
Just don't shoot me with an M16. So, like AI, like that term is more of like a buzzword. But I mean, what we have right now is more, because what we have right now, it's not learning, it's just being trained. Because like learning insinuates, learning, it insinuates a sentience.
Yeah.
Right now is not sentient.
Yeah.
And so it would just have to,
exactly.
It has to cross that line. So what AI is really good at doing right now is correlation and relationships, and it's all strictly binary, because it like LLMs, large language models, just converting those words into binary code, and and that's done thousands and thousands of times, to establish these relationships and establish correlation. And that's what AI is really good at doing right now, is establishing correlative relationships. But it gives a good perception of sentience, but that it's not to that level. It's
we've actually stepped into the uncanny valley now. We're actually in the valley where things are getting close, but we can still recognize the differences. But how long until we don't recognize the differences anymore? Because it's getting close at times, dude. There's some pretty good stuff out there that could it could trick the average person that
it's mimicking. It's kind of a mimic right now.
Yeah,
it's not like
it is.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. The uncanny valley it literally is almost there.
But also too, like, think about what TVs looked at like 20 years ago. They were big 400-pound tubes that now they're just give them away with, when you buy a piece of candy. It's like you get a flat screen. It's like, I remember, it's just the exponential growth of technology. It's just what you always see. And I've seen, working at Circuit City as a kid, like seeing like people would spend $10,000 on a 42-inch flat screen when I was there, and now those things are like $89. It's like the exponential growth of a lot of this technology is what I'm talking about. Right now, it's kind of like it's in the cute stages. It's pretty adorable and cute, and it's also the visual stages. Like I've been my favorite ones right now. I'm seeing the people like doing the TikToks of like in the Bible, like, dude, I'm gonna throw a rock at fucking Goliath right now and see what happens. It's like seeing shit like that, and it looks pretty good. It doesn't look like
the influencers
real
from the Bible era. Yeah, I love
that's like it looks like pretty good right now, and I'm like, from what it used to be like, all like just weird and kind of like brain rotty.
Yeah.
But like now it's like kind of getting close, and now it's like to the point where people are calling me that I don't know the numbers, and I'm like, I'm not answering that because they're gonna take my voice. I'm getting like I'm in my position now at work, like I'm getting all these calls now that I got on, like had to get on LinkedIn and all this fucking weird shit. I'm just getting all this like spam and all this crazy shit coming at me, and it's just turning into a thing where I'm kind of getting like old manny. Like I don't have a gun yet. No, funny. But I need.
What's funny is that
you're in California. I need to go like through like 9 years of classes before I get my gun. But you need. I mean, I'm in the middle of the forest. Like there's mountain lions walking right by my fucking. We've seen it.
We've seen people video footage, dude.
Yeah. It's like we have literally like lions walking right by my 10 feet from me. So it's like
you're about to be a dad, so you're like, fuck, dude, these lions are starting to impede.
Once you get out in that new Giannis Pappas stand-up breaks it down too.
I haven't watched it yet. Bryce wants to watch it too, so I'm waiting to go watch it with her.
Being a property owner, you like go from like, oh, whatever, dude, everything's chill, to like, dude, get the fuck away. Like it turns into that real quick. And as far as it just seems like it's cute, and and there's been a lot of people that have been sounding the horn. Also, what's his name? The dude that we love from Joe Rogan, the stoner, high pitched voice guy, Duncan Trussell. Duncan's been talking about that since on stage since like 2013, 12. Going like, dude, there's people investing millions into fucking like making sure this doesn't get out of hand. And actually, one of the people that is in charge or helping that fight is Joseph's wife. Joseph's wife is in charge of keeping AI in check, like that.
Yeah,
she's like yeah, she's actually got a legendary job with that. And but the thing is it's kind of like a nuclear weapon. It's like, oh, got leaked, it's gone. You know, it's like,
well, that's where new war. I mean, bring it back to warfare. It's definitely going to be in there more too.
Yeah.
Listen,
anyway,
dude,
so
we've gotten so far off the fucking.
So drums are like, what kind of drum? Hey, what kind of drum kit do you use?
For both Wrath and Compass and this new album, it was a Pearl reference kit, and then live I play a Pearl Decade Maple.
Dang. So what's the difference in woods and like for the maple versus what other woods are available for like the toms and stuff like that? From a guitar player, I have no idea.
I've kind of lost touch with that side. But like the reference kit, it has a blend, and I forget like exactly how the blend works, but it goes from like a birch maple blend, and maybe as like the bigger the drum goes, it becomes more of like a maple, less birch, and the decade maple, I would just assume it's all maple. But
so what is is a sound for a maple? Is it more hollow, more loud, more bassy, more tinny?
I don't know. If actually I like how my decade maple sounds more than my reference kit.
Casey, add it. Casey, jump in. I have no idea what he's talking about. Go.
Joel's like, please save me. I'm in a drum talk, and I realize I have nowhere to go with it.
Started mahogany and
finished. Yeah.
Teak.
Hey man, it's all preference, dude. I've never owned a maple kit, so I don't know. I've always had birch.
Oh, birch. He's a bircher.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I've never. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't spent enough time with it, but I've never been able to listen to a kit and be like, oh man, that's birch, or that's maple. It's like I'm just like, oh, it sounds good. Sounds good. Oh, it's made out of maple, great. Made out of birch, that's cool too.
I'm gonna totally listen to the albums now and be like, dude, that's fucking birch, dude.
I'm just more like, to me, it's more like, is it wood? Is it metal? Is it acrylic? Like, what's the material? Not like, well, it's 60% like maple swirl with a little bit of mahogany.
It's a blend.
It's like wood. I mean, wood drums sound a certain way, and acrylic drums sound a certain way.
Yeah, but I mean, there is a reason for it, because like, why wouldn't there be a redwood kit or an oak kit or something like? So there's got to be a density situation.
Oak is a whole thing that I don't really hear people. So the Yamaha oak custom kits are really sick. Yeah,
expensive.
They're not too crazy. I wanted to get one for a while, but I ended up getting the acrylic DW. But like I was gonna get a Yamaha oak custom for a long time. But that's cool. they're super loud and like rad. Like might have to like use the certain heads. Like you might want to use but oak customs are pretty loud, but like they're rad. I don't know. I don't want to talk about my thoughts.
Oh, yeah, tuning. Tuning, right though? So do you tune your toms and stuff like that?
I try my best.
I'm sorry, dude. I just love that question so much, dude.
Do you tune your toms high? Do you tune your toms low? Like that's what it means.
So I would say for like studio stuff, Clint, he really kind of nerds out on that, and so like for Wrath and this album, he like I'll tune them to what I think, and you can tune drums. Yeah, I don't know that I'm kind of in the same place. I've played drums for how long, and probably don't know how to tune correctly. But I'll get them like where I think they sound good, and then usually Clint will come in and be like, "Oh man, I got them sounding good."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay,
yeah,
all
we never
right, cool."
think
Yeah,
of, like for me, like tuning drums has always been confusing to me because I never thought like that the notes of the drum, like a note or timbre that bounced off the drum, had to match to the melody or whatever the music that you're playing. Yeah, it doesn't, right? It just has to sound good, right?
Yeah,
It's percussive.
It can, but it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. It's percussive. So it's like you don't want to like follow the guitar player and go like like you don't want to like
I think what Tritt's saying is relates to me too, because my favorite thing is just tune them the way I think sounds good, and then go into a studio and then let the drum. So like I would tune my drums the best I could, new heads and all that. And anytime
how would you tune it? Would you tune it to a note or just tune them?
No, I just tune it to the drum,
the sound that you want.
Yeah, it just sounds good on that drum. Mm-hmm. And then overall, sometimes you can tell the difference of the toms and everything. And then I go in, and then Zach comes, and then he nerds out. Like he takes what I did, and he's like, okay, now I'm gonna add a moon gel here, or he'll do whatever with his mics, and he'll like change the tune. So I don't like you said with Clint, like it's kind of like you let him kind of
Clint, when it comes to studio stuff and recording, Clint just he knows what he's doing. And for this album with my floor tom, I remember like when we were recording, man, he's like, do you hear that coming from the floor tom? And it's like, I don't hear anything. He's like, you don't hear that it's like vibrating? Like, I don't hear anything, man. And he came in and put like a bunch of moon gel on it. He was like, all right, there you go. That doesn't vibrate anymore. Like, okay, well, I'll take your word for it. But but yeah, I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, I default to Clint because he's been recording for so long, and I just trust him, and he's just more knowledgeable. So I put my drum faith in his hands.
Yeah, definitely. I would do the same. Just be like, all right, does it sound good or not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, how long has Moon Gel been around, dude? That guy's sitting nice. Whoever started that company.
It's not like the Pet Rock.
His name is.
I mean, if you think about cost versus, it's just a little like rectangle of fucking the same shit that the sticky hands that we had as kids.
Yeah, but you can use that stuff.
Yeah. I had a student.
He'll just spit on the tongue.
Yeah. It was funny is I remember a buddy of mine back when we were teenagers, and he was the drummer, and we were like 12, 13 years old, and he had like straight up like maxi pads. Like
nice.
He found the life hack.
There was like he taped on on the toms like maxi pads, dude. So it's so funny to think about.
That's great. No, drums are a completely different animal. I mean, even like going to Jeremy, like with guitars, like there was that one guy that did an experiment with pickups and with woods, and he was like, he literally tried every wood with the same pickups, and had you listen to it. It's like this guy on YouTube, and then he went to I've talked about this a couple times on the podcast, where he literally went to a workbench where he had the pickups just hovering over air. The strings were hovering over air to where the neck was, like, and made it the exact length, and played. And I couldn't tell the difference. And I was like, shit. Like, I've been paying all this attention to fucking, like, is it ebony or is it rosewood or is it like what's mahogany? It's like all these things, and like it really just like when you run it through all these amps and all these things, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It just it's just kind of like your
was it always that way though? That's my thing. Like all the new
not
technology,
the old school amps,
the old school shit. Maybe the wood did matter.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Yeah, the wood matters. I think the wood matters with like tube amps.
Yeah, resonance and stuff.
Because it definitely sounds different Because I've got the two Vs that I've got, like the Icon, I think is made out of mahogany, and the NJV I think is made out of. I don't even know what it's made out of. I'm not going to try to say I do, but I've got the same pickup in both, and they both sound incredible. But the Icon has a little more of a bass to it, and the NJ is actually a little clearer with like
more
stuff.
mids.
So
Yeah,
it does make a difference, but
yeah,
like I said, I think it's just with like tube amps, like anything digital. I don't think it's going to make any difference.
Yeah, and I feel like nowadays, I just feel like seeing like the demos of the guy that gets the $13,000 guitar versus the one that gets the 300 one. It's like, yeah, there's differences there, but can they be augmented through pedals or like certain different like boosts and stuff like that? That's and it's been a thing that I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on, like trying to, I need this guitar because of this, I need this amp because of this, I need this because of this, you know what I mean? And like, and they all sound like good, but I'm like, yeah, but it's not like perfect. and like I'll go, it's the whole gear horror, like kind of like,
does anybody get to perfect?
No, you never do. No, you never do. Because then because we're human. So if like as a human, if you had a 17-room mansion overlooking the most beautiful thing that you ever saw in your life, you're gonna find after year number 6, you're gonna be like, we get to use a little, you know what I mean?
Maybe 18 rooms.
That's how humans are. I've noticed this. That's as 40 years on Earth, I've noticed that like you can give a human either a bunch of nothing or a ton of everything.
Materialism isn't the real happiness, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You could give them,
that
everything or everything or nothing
that.
though. Everything or nothing though. Everything or nothing, and kind of the people, when you have everything, when you originally had nothing, you'll look back at the nothing years being like, fuck yeah, that was like I worked hard for this. But if you have everything your whole life, those people are just garbage. You can't deal with those people. Those people don't understand struggle or anything like that. It's like you can't even interact with those people.
Well, we were talking about the tours and all that stuff, and bloodletting was, even though we were broke and things went awry like death metal tours do.
Yeah.
It's something that I'll never forget, and I love thinking about all the minute aspects of it. You killing a fucking seagull on the freeway in New York.
The car. I didn't just shoot one.
But like that type of stuff sticks with you, and it's during the hardship. So it's really not about the material. It's not about the money, dude. It's about
kind of how we're raised, though. It's like, it's like, look at the number one religion.
You want to get to the point where you don't have to worry about the things that most people don't worry about.
People talk about their struggles mostly. Like if you talk about like a popular whatever pop artist you can think of, if you get them on a microphone, they'll talk about, it's really cool that I'm here because of this A, B, and C. It was hard when I was a kid, and now I got to D, and it's cool. It's like it's a human thing. That's kind of what I'm pointing at.
But then most of them have psychotic episodes and get caught up in weird sex party scandals and all that type of shit. It's like it doesn't matter about that, all that.
Yeah, but A, B, and C, dude, is the reason why I got there, dude. A, B, and C. It wasn't the D. It was all the A, B, and C. It wasn't like it was because my
D
my
sounds
mother
kind of
smacked me
up,
weird.
Bro.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, a lot of people like, because everyone wants to put a facade of being humble, and that's what I love about death metal. Death metal is everyone. The people that aren't humble in death metal, that's a weird thing.
It's
that
strange.
We immediately call out. We immediately call out because you got involved in the wrong thing. You got involved in the wrong thing.
They immediately stand out.
Yeah, it's like going in the mines and being like, "Yeah, dude, I was a princess before this." It's like why would you go to the mines then? It's like that's where the hard work is involved. Like it's something you have to actually really love, or go hunting for your own food. That's pretty much death metal to me. It's like you go hunt like the grocery store down the street, but you're like, no, I'm gonna save money because we're broke, and I'm gonna do it myself. And and just kind of like,
if you could be a caveman and have a soundtrack, me killing a saber-toothed tiger, Unmerciful is gonna be playing in the background. Dude.
Yeah, I know. That's a cheat code, dude. You can't just like have Unmerciful play. It's just be like, all right, let's fucking
dude, dragging that thing. If I stab it, drag it back to my family, dude. Devouring Darkness is fucking playing in the background, dude.
But when your family's eating it though, after Devouring Darkness, like what do you play for your family while they're eating it?
Andrea Bocelli.
Sick, dude. That's our singer, dude.
I could, dude. It's all in Italian, dude. I'm Sicilian. I don't speak a word of it, dude. All right.
Well, fuck yeah, guys.
I've got some slow songs on the new album.
What songs? I want to hear right now.
Miracle on Fire. That's a slow one.
I can tell by the laughing. That's
slow compared to the rest of the album. Maybe
it's relative.
What's it only like 240, 250?
230, I think.
230. Shit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm listening to it right now.
Yeah.
Jesus
Christ. That was another thing too. Like 20 years ago,
love song.
220 was like the shit.
Yeah. Well,
so it's like,
there was a period in time. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry.
I was just gonna say there was a period in time where, like with death metal, if you didn't play 250, you suck.
Yeah. It's like an X Games. It became an X Games. Like do whatever, dude. You can't do a 900, dude.
Yeah,
like, it was exactly. You hit it on the nail, dude. Like once an achievement was made, everybody had to go for it. You know,
especially with Jeremy and Clint in your band. It's like, cool, dude. Origin guys in the band. God, they played guitar to this. Fucking, I gotta like all of a sudden like I gotta like my work on my forearm. Like their forearms are ready to do like. What was the fastest? Jeremy, what's like the fastest Origin song you had to play? Do you remember BPM for that?
Oh shit.
Probably 300 or something like that, right? Around, I would guess 300.
And you also gotta factor in like live, dude. If they were playing it live and they were hauling.
Well, back then, live, like John would ingest enough caffeine to wake a dead person. So, whatever speed you had on the album was probably 20 BPMs faster live. It was ridiculous.
How did you deal with your your forearm cramping though? Because obviously, like for being in decrepit for me, like I would, same thing. We get excited, play a little faster, and before I know it, I'd be like halfway through the first song, and my palm, my arm, like all these things would be cramping, and I'd be like, shit, like I have to like figure out like to do halftime or something. Like, how would you deal with that live?
Adrenaline, basically.
Yeah.
Well, that and back then, like we practiced 5-6 days a week, so it was it was stupid.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've tried to learn how to relax and do that. And even, I mean, obviously live, you're going to dig in more and play harder, but I'm definitely more relaxed now than I was back then. Like, you were just
smart,
going crazy all night, every night, or not all night, but the length of our set anyway.
Yeah, it's insane. It's a marathon.
Yeah, I don't know, probably 250, 260.
Jesus. That's crazy to me. Just playing like you guys will play like a decent set too. So it's like I remember like back in the day, it was like touring, just going like second song, being like, I'm losing grip of everything. Like I like things because I don't understand that things are going faster, but I'm understanding the adrenaline because there's a ton of people staring at you. So it's like, all right, yeah, whatever happens, we'll just go with it. You're not like counting out beats per minute of what you're going at the time, but then you watch the video someone took and you're like, Jesus Christ, we're fucking flying. That's insane. I can't believe we like kept up with that. But yeah, that's like I remember what's Mike Gilbert would like put his hands in like hot water and like do all these things, right? Wouldn't he do stuff like that?
Yeah, dude. He's like a monk, dude. It fits perfect with the cynic vibe, you know?
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, fuck yeah. Well, good shit. Well, let's we're over a
3-hour mark, dude. We're here. All right.
Thank you guys.
It was really cool to hang out with you guys tonight, dude. And I wish Clint could have stayed, but at the same time, he's fucking in paradise, so we can't knock him for it, dude.
We can knock him.
Dude. No, I want to get more into that guy, dude, for sure. I mean, we've kicked it plenty of times, but yeah, I want to have and you too, Trent. Like we dug into you, but everybody's always welcome back on, dude. You guys are awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, thank you.
That's so funny that Terminator 2 has popped up more than any other pop-up on an episode. It makes me want to go watch it again.
It's so good.
I'm watching it tonight.
My wife like a couple years ago when we met hadn't seen it, and I was like, I found the right time and was like, all right, you ready, dude? Because it's like one of my favorite movies, like of all time. So I was like, boom, this was like 90, what was it, 93, 94, something like that. Like that was 95 maybe. I was 5 years old in the theater. My dad took me to that film at 5 years old. And it stuck with me.
Yeah. I saw it when I was 8,
You saw it when you were 8? I can't pinpoint my age, but it was definitely
91.
early.
91. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I was
you were in the theater in 91?
I was seven.
Damn, dog.
Back then you show your kids just movies. You know, you don't worry about like
it was like that, dude.
Yeah. I saw like crazy
I was talking about it
movies
before, like I got sat down at a friend's house with a bacon grilled cheese. It was the most delicious bacon grilled cheese you could ever have, dude. And his mom put on Pet Sematary 2, bro. So I have this like weird thing with bacon grilled cheese. It makes me always think about Pet Sematary 2. I'll still fucking murder a bacon grilled cheese, but I'm not gonna not think about Pet Sematary 2 when I eat it.
Yeah, I think I was 10 years old, and my mom we watched Traces of Death together when I was like 10.
Christ.
That's
next level.
Yeah, dude, you just won up me, no doubt, dude.
That's a win.
You probably weren't eating anything. You definitely weren't having a bacon grilled cheese during that, dude.
No,
just watching like a Russian soldier get like smashed his head in. You're like, oh, what are we having for dinner?
Yeah.
People eating monkey brains out of a freshly killed monkey, you know.
Yeah. Cooking pigs alive with the blowtorch.
Oh shit, dude.
Well, hey, you got into technology and you're doing well for yourself.
Hey guys, I don't mean to cut and run, but I've got to go.
No, we're out.
Yeah, we're cutting now.
Yeah.
We're cutting.
All right, guys. Let's do it real quick. My eyes are terrible right now. Can you guys put up some fucking? Am I in the right thing? Banners.
Battleforge Coffee.
Homeboys. Battleforgecoffee.com. Hide that shit. GeneratorRehearsalStudios.com. Oceanside, California.
Yeah, because he had some surges because he's a bitch.
Fuck you. I am one-eyed because I hate these fucking glasses, dude. I got prescriptions and I just can't fucking get used to them, dude. Progressives suck, guys. Don't turn 40. All right. Okay. Have I been riding that 40 thing a little too long now?
All right, guys. All right, guys. We're leaving.
All right. Hey,
all right, love you guys.
Love you all, dude. Missed you guys, and rock on. We'll see you guys soon.
Pleasure.